Good morning, Popture. We are live. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, October the 3rd, 2018. It's 7:40 something, and it's time to rock with Good Morning Pop Culture. So we're coming off last night's High Council, which was a very, very important, a very, very strong show. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, I strongly suggest you do. It's here on this channel, and we talked about Kathleen Kennedy's renewal. We talked about the Russian bots. We talked about Ryan Johnson. There were a lot of R's discussed on last night's show, but I would classify the show as a W, a win for the category of the fandom, because not only we have fun talking about Star Wars for the first time in what seems like many months, it also strengthened the community of all of us. So for all those out there that think, well, the Star Wars fandom, it's just a bunch of the fringe minority of people who aren't happy with the film, they're quieted. Not the case. So, folks, we got tons and tons of stuff to talk about this morning. We're going to be talking about Toys R Us. We're going to be checking in with the Venom scores. We're also going to be talking about this rumor, this speculation, this Lady Gaga fans are bringing the Venom score down. It's not like a genre movie can fail on its own anymore. You know, first it's Russian bots, and now it's Lady Gaga's Little Monsters. So if you own a licensed property and another movie, it does better, it's not your fault. It's the fault of faceless, countless internet accounts that dislike your movie because you pumped in millions more than the other guy. That makes your movie better. Said nobody ever. But we're also going to talk about our Toys R Us thing, which is exciting to me because I went through the whole process, acceptance and all that stuff for the death of Toys R Us. And now it may not even be dead. You got to believe me, when I read the article about 45 times, because that's how many times it was sent to me, I went, this is fake. This is coming from Cosmic Book News. This is coming from CBR, the butthole of the internet. And then I saw it from CBS and a bunch of other more reputable sources, and I thought to myself, okay, maybe Toys R Us can come back. What does that mean? Well, I'll give you a little spoiler right now. It means absolutely nothing because my local Toys R Us has been converted into a factory, and there's nothing left of it, and it's so sad, and I don't care. I'm just kidding. The other locations in the city look exactly the same. Hopefully, they just put the shit right back in, and it's like business as usual. But we'll talk more about that in a few moments. So let's see where we are. Are we close to our magical number of 200? We are 144 viewers. So as soon as we get to 200, we will start. Also, this morning, we're going to be talking about the Star Wars live-action TV show. They have the lead cast, reportedly. We also have rumor that Dave Filoni is going to be directing some episodes. So it may be, I believe, Dave Filoni's first foray into live-action directing, which some people will take as confirmation that he's going to take over Lucasfilm. Well, I don't hitch my horse to that wagon, but I find it interesting that he's moving into the next evolution. So maybe Lucasfilm will be a joint John-Dave production, which I, for one, fully support. Also, we have some confirmation as to why X-Men Phoenix was pushed back right after they announced it last week with a big trailer push and all that fun stuff. And now it's like, it comes out months and months later, and the answers are dumber than you can possibly realize. So this is a very stacked episode of Good Morning Pop Culture. So I got gallons of water here to make gallons of coffee, and it's going to be a good, action-packed, fun morning. So if you're on your way to work, I apologize. If you're on your way to school, well, this school could be fun for some, could suck for others. If you have a civics test today, civics was easy. Just blow that thing out of the water. But if you're at home enjoying your off day, hell yeah. And if you're going to be working and lurking already, well, congratulations. You are the backbone of everything. If you work and listen to Good Morning Pop Culture, you're multifaceted, and I'm proud of you. So, Today is Wednesday, and that means tonight we're going to be doing a live stream on movie curses here on the channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to be talking about the poltergeist curse. I don't know what poltergeist means. That's not even a word, not even a German word. No one can try to put those words in my mouth. Why? Because I made them up myself, and I sound stupid. But we're going to be talking about the poltergeist curse as well as a few other movie curses. So that'll be Nick, Kendo, and myself. And it is one of many Halloween-themed horror streams here on the channel. Like I said, it's just an addition to all the extra content you guys are getting, the Star Wars stuff. I'm still working on the Russian bot paper to, dissect that. I have a man out in the field who's been breaking it down for me and sending me links and all this other stuff too. So I have all kinds of things on my plate, and Halloween is just the bonus. But be prepared for that tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. So 5 more viewers, 3 more viewers. Come on. 3, 2. Come on. Oh, 3. Somebody left. I got all morning. I can wait. I got plenty of coffee. We're down to 2. Oh, we're down to 5 now. Oh, man. It's funny. People think they're going to troll the show. I'll turn on my webcam. We'll look out the window and watch traffic for a couple hours. So, guys, there goes a Hyundai Elantra. It's a 2004 model. It's not my favorite, but it's a nice color black. There we go. Now we're past 200. Boom. So, let's talk about something important to this channel, something important to me, and one of the reasons why you all found us, Toys R Us. Now, I know that Toys R Us means something different for everyone out there. Some people like to falsely claim that it was overpriced. Maybe you went to Walmart and, the 4 cents you saved on a Star Wars figure was, a big deal. But Toys R Us dying its death the way it did was documented on the channel. We have a final walkthrough of my local Toys R Us, which looked a lot like this one. We have a walkthrough of the final day of the Northern Kentucky Toys R Us, which is still standing, thankfully. So there are all kinds of Toys R Us time capsule videos here on the channel, mainly documenting the death of Star Wars. But if you ever get nostalgic for what a Toys R Us looked like, just watch one of the videos. If you ever wondered what it smelled like, just go smell some generic plastic toy, because that's what it smelled like. And if you ever want to know what kind of music it played top 40 crap over random commercials of little kids going, yay! So there's your whole Toys R Us experience. But if you thought it was over, if you were sad for the future generation because you thought Toys R Us was going away, well, don't worry. The kids are going to be all right, because Toys R Us brand has a comeback in the works. Now, this comes from CBS News. This was my source that I chose. A group of investors is planning a comeback for Toys R Us and the latest twist for the troubled retail brand. The group, made up of secured lenders, said Tuesday it's scrapping an auction for intellectual property assets because it didn't receive any bids that were better than its own. The investors said they'll work with potential partners to develop new ideas for the stores in the U.S. and other countries. That could bring back these iconic brands in new, reimagined ways. The recognized company will control trademark, e-commerce assets, and data related to Toys R Us and Babies R Us brands. Toys R Us has liquidated its U.S. businesses earlier this year after filing Chapter 11 reorganization following a leveraged buyout that hobbled the company. So, I wish it was Star Wars. I wish we could place the blame on Hasbro's stupid asses. But no, it was bad business. It was bad decision-making. But this excites me. We're not going to get exactly the same Toys R Us locations and everything's going to be the same. But it's nice to know that the brand is too valuable to everybody. So I'm hoping that in 2020, Christmas 2019, we'll have our first Toys R Us Christmas back. And like I said on the High Council last night, it's going to be crazy. I guarantee you there'll be a line out the door. That first day Toys R Us is back open, people are going to be like, this is that thing we once had, but now we don't, and now it's back, and we want it again. That's how things like this work. That's why The Force Awakens made $2 billion, because we hadn't had Star Wars in theaters in 10 years, unless you count the Clone Wars movie, which sucked. We hadn't had live-action Star Wars in 10 years. So Toys R Us making their comeback. Hopefully it's as good as I want it to be. Hopefully, our channel has 45 million subscribers, and we'll buy our own Toys R Us with the money, and we'll operate it the most fun way possible. We had a super chat roll in from the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. When you said, excuse me, When you said Grace Randolph had certain info, did you mean like from the future? Does Mike Zero get a sex change? Well, the hunky chunky funky monkey. I do know some future news, but I can't share it. I've been sworn to secrecy because I've seen a future where I leak Mike Zero's results, and it's not a pretty sight for this channel. Biff is corrupt and powerful and married to your mother. Put that aside, though. When I met Grace Randolph had certain info, she gets probably the better scoops because I think she works out of New York City. She has better connections. I think she's a John Campea with balls. Like, she's not all of a sudden my personal hero, and I'm not going to all of a sudden sing her praises about everything she does. But I will say Grace Randolph has a much better track record, and I trust her more than I trust John Campea, or Giovanni Campea is his real name, I believe. But yeah, the Toys R Us stuff is exciting to me. A lot of people are happy. A lot of people, aren't happy. I don't know why you could be unhappy that Toys R Us would be making a comeback. It's good news for everyone. Just put yourself in the shoes of a kid running around Toys R Us, wide-eyed, toys everywhere, endless possibilities. That was me at 29 years old earlier in the year. So I can imagine a 5-year-old's freaking out. Dad, look at this. Look at Captain America. Look at that. Probably not wrong. But that's really all there is to say about the Toys R Us story. I'm happy. If it comes back sooner than later, I'll be documenting it here on the channel. So Toys R Us, if you ever see one of our videos, reach out to me. Love to be your online goodwill ambassador. I got tons of stuff to say about Toys R Us positively. So now let's talk about something that's not really as positive. There's not much of a spin to put on it, but it is funny. So Venom, we talked about Venom yesterday. It was getting average. No, not average. Excuse me. Average is too kind of a word. Venom was getting, how do I want to say it? Backhanded compliments on Twitter. They tried to use the word fun to justify its poor storytelling, and they also said it belongs in 2004. It slipped through the cracks through a time warp, and it rolled up in 2018. Well, now reviews are out, and they're not pretty. So first off, I believe the Rotten Tomatoes want to see it percentage has dropped by 3%, which, okay, who cares? But the tomato meter, Venom currently sits at a very, very rotten 26%. My God, this is sad. This is embarrassing, but it is pretty funny. So let's look at some of these scores. So it has a 4.3 out of 10. Reviews counted 35, fresh 9, rotten 26. Critics' consensus. Venom's first standalone movie turns out to be like the comic character in all the wrong ways. Chaotic, noisy, and in desperate need of a stronger attachment to Spider-Man. I was raked over the coals by faceless people, maybe Russian bots, or just assholes. Oh, you can have a Venom movie without Spider-Man. You don't need it. You don't need that. Venom's a great character on his own. I'm like, dude, smell the coffee. Wake up from your 1990s induced coma. You're not going to go watch episodes of Step by Step and see this movie. You live in 2018. Venom hasn't been relevant in 11 years. Spider-Man 3 did way more damage than you like to imagine. But, I'm the wrong one. But I wasn't. So when Ethan and Jeremy made their videos making fun of the trailer, and I just talked about it on the show here, a lot of people were like, well, I'm really excited, man. You're just wrong. You're misguided. You don't need Spidey. Maybe you do. Now, as always, I do tell everyone out there, make up your own mind. Go out and see the movie when you want, or listen to somebody's review that you trust before you make up your mind. I know a lot of people do read critic review scores, and that's fine. That is up to you. Just as long as you don't listen to Kevin Smith's reviews, because it's going to get a 10 out of 10. You know what? Maybe Kevin Smith is the most consistent reviewer in the world. Everything's awesome. 10 out of 10. I live in the Lego movie. There we go. So let's see what some of these reviews are. So this comes from Time Out's top critic, Joshua Rothkopf. Why can't the movie make Venom properly dirty? The PG-13 rating seriously hurts it. Jesse Hassinger from the AV Club says, the filmmakers seem fairly aware that not all comic book characters are superheroes, but unsure of what else Venom could actually be. The Tribune News Service gave it a positive score. It says it's a mess, but wow, was it ever a fun, fascinating mess? 2.5 out of 4. Venom feels like a pretty weak poison, says the Justin Chang of the LA Times. Ooh, the Hollywood Reporter. People usually use this as law. A significant problem in a film full of them is that Eddie comes off as a dope, an eager doofus hardly convincing as a boundary-pushing Giorno or someone who can outthink a titan of technology. That's what I noticed from this trailer, too, when he gets into the interview and he pulls out his little pad and he's like, so what about this, man? And I'm like, really? I know they're trying to make Eddie Brock the tragic hero or the anti-hero, but hear me out for a moment. How much more complex and interesting would this movie have been had the Daily Bugle existed and Eddie made up a bullshit story, got caught, got the cancer like in the comic book, and prayed, oh, I want, vengeance and this and that, and then got the symbiote and had the anger to create Venom, not the bullshit that's created this movie. Entertainment Weekly says it never rises above bombastic and busy, which is something I never thought I'd say about a movie starring three aces like Hardy, Ahmed, and Williams. Is that Riz Ahmed that's in this movie? Yeah, okay. So Bodhi Rook. Then here's a positive score. Fleischer made a better comedy horror with Zombieland, but Venom's decent buddy actioner. You might even get a laugh. You might even laugh your head off. I'm guessing that's a joke because Venom bites someone's head off. It's neither a Trump or a train wreck, says Empire Magazine. These just aren't the most positive of scores. But the reason I bring this up too is because we've reached an era where, nothing is our own fault. Nothing is our own fault. Everything else is someone else's fault. Your movie failed. Well, it's the Russian bots, guys. Well, if you thought Venom's scores could be blamed on, Russian bots, you would be wrong, because we now know, we have a face of the faceless. We know who is responsible for the Venom poor review scores, and her name is Lady Gaga. So, Lady Gaga fans are trolling Venom with fake bad reviews. So Lady Gaga fans are trolling Venom with poor reviews online in an effort to generate a larger audience for A Star is Born. Both films open in theaters this weekend and look to be headed towards very different destinies. The latter, which stars Gaga and Bradley Cooper, is widely considered to be one of the year's Oscar frontrunners, following a series of successful festival screenings in August and September. Unfortunately, the former, Venom, is earning largely mixed responses thus far, with many critics saying it feels somewhat dated in the comic book movie landscape. Still, it's projected to break October all-time opening weekend records. These two high-profile newcomers should give the box office a shot in the arm after a slow September that didn't have many breakouts. Seeing that Venom and A Star is Born have contrasting target demographics, they should be able to post fruitful debuts. But that isn't stopping one fan base from doing whatever they can in order to get an advantage over the competition. BuzzFeed, well, because they're reliable, collected a plethora of tweets that appear to be from pro-Lady Gaga bots, spreading negative opinions about Venom and telling people to see A Star is Born instead. One user named LGMonster95 owned up to being a coordinated effort amongst Gaga fans to tear down Venom. It's taken a life of its own at this point, with people posting obviously fake A Star is Born reviews for comedic effect, and others saying that DC is behind all of this, paying critics to write bad Venom reviews. Unfortunately, the behavior isn't exactly uncommon for Lady Gaga's fan community, and it's sadly become the norm for general online discourse. Just last night, research showed that roughly half of the backlash targeted at The Last Jedi director was a product of political trolling, which is fucking fake. The Russian bots viewed as both perpetrators. For all the good social media can do, it's fueled by an incredibly toxic and destructive landscape where trolls can run amok and ruin platforms for others. Last Jedi actress, I don't care about her any fucking more. Shut up. The truly bizarre aspect about Star is Born situation is that the film doesn't need help in order to appeal to general audiences. Word of mouth is very positive, with it already certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and riding waves of award buzz. Even if Venom was a critical darling, odds are A Star is Born would have been able to do quite well on its own during its opening weekend, since there's a considerable amount of interest in it. All Gaga's fans seem to have done is anger the Venom fans, which doesn't benefit everybody. I love how when Lady Gaga fans do it, oh, it doesn't benefit anybody. It's just, poking the bear. But when it's Star Wars fans, it's angry white men, it's this, it's that, it's politicized, it's fucking Chris Agar. Is he the worst writer on Screen Rant? Maybe not, but he is the one I happened to click on a lot of his articles this week, and I just don't like anything he's done. A lot of people, Lady Gaga does still exist. I too was surprised that Lady Gaga hadn't, fallen into a giant hole and never climbed out. When was her last song? That Alejandro song? Like, God. She came out a decade ago, and she was popular. When I was a sophomore in college, going into my junior year, Lady Gaga was really popular. Everybody, dude, chicks, everybody listened to Lady Gaga. There was this girl in college that I found out liked me years later, which is kind of weird, but she used to dress up as Lady Gaga for Halloween, and then sometimes she would just put on the costume and walk around the halls. She was quite interesting. She lives in Chicago. Maybe I'll go visit her for Star Wars Celebration. Brad Wilcox says, car was booted, so I'm here waiting on that. Brad Wilcox, I wish you the best of luck. I know car anything sucks. But the boot, I've never had that happen to me, thankfully, but we're all pulling for you, man. Hopefully they are like, yeah, we made a mistake. We'll take it off, and you be on your way, sir. Did I tell you guys how I accidentally Hulk smashed my car door yesterday? I was going to close it, and I accidentally ripped the entire console out of the fucking door panel. So, yeah, that's the thing. I wasn't even angry. I just went, I was like, oops. So good for the German engineering. Okay, so a lot of people are telling me Lady Gaga still makes music. Maybe. Okay, a lot of differing opinions on Lady Gaga. I get it. She's got a good singing voice, and I'm not really a fan. A couple of the first hits remind me of college, so I have good memories of them. But this whole Russian bot, this, that, and the other thing, it's really frustrating. And I'm interested to see where we go with this after I break down the Morton Bay Bug PhD paper. Because it looks like the guy is full of shit. Like I said, I have a bunch of I don't know how to say this. They're not structured. They're not laid out. Unformatted results. Just a bunch of notes that haven't been formatted properly to write a response, a thesis, if you will. But the guy does go on to talk about how his own argument collapses on itself. And all these places are holding it as fact. So I believe in my video, what I'm going to do is every place that cites it as factual, I'm going to call them out as having no journalistic integrity for not researching the paper properly. They just went off their soundbite on Twitter, and therefore I'm going to call them to task. And how can we trust anything they've ever reported if this is clearly fake and biased garbage that you want to put out there? You're so focused on the 24-hour news cycle, yet you make yourself you have a lack of credibility, and I refuse to use you as a source outside of something that's being reported everywhere else. So everyone's going to get the spotlight on them, especially Screen Rant. Every time they want to quote this article as gospel, well, fuck you. That's all I can say. So, yeah, that's the Venom news. It makes me laugh. So it's sitting at 26%. I know, everyone out there, if you're going to see Venom, press 1. If you're not, just don't press anything. We'll see. We'll get a decent consensus. What do we have? 400 people roughly watching this morning. 367. Let's get 368 likes on this video. So smash that like button. Help us become more searchable in the YouTube index. It's 370 now. Doesn't take any time besides just a click. It's just that easy, like the guy says on my TV commercial. So let's see. Is there anything interesting else to talk about before I jump into the Star Wars TV show? Because I really don't want to talk about Star Wars. Bradley Cooper won't direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I guess that's good news. Ethan and Jeremy, I think Ethan or Jeremy, one of the two, are convinced the movie's not happening overall, which would be a shame. But if they can wrap up the Guardians story properly in Infinity War Chapter 2, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, I, for one, will be okay with that. It was a good run, guys. You can only get so many miles out of Baby Groot. I am Groot. Whoa, watch your language. with Gamora dead and all these other characters moved on to do other things. I would rather watch Rocket Raccoon and maybe, so-and-so hang out with Thor, not necessarily Quill and the gang. I'm kind of over them. And it has nothing to do with James Gunn. It just comes from watching Infinity War a few more times and realizing they're great, but there's nowhere else for them to go. Like Spider-Man, he's fighting Mysterio. He's doing all this shit. I guess I should be excited, but I'm not. Anyway, we're not going to get into the MCU talk. We've had enough Captain Marvel hocus pocus phooey bullshit, and it pisses me off. But let's talk about Star Wars, because that's the thing everybody wants to talk about, right? Right? So we had a super chat roll in from our friend Cormoran. It says, a cat once smashed its way through the sun, damaged my dashboard of my old Morris Mini Miner. Wow, let me reread this. A cat once smashed its way through the sun-damaged dashboard of my old Morris Mini Miner as I was driving. Damn thing was sleeping on the warm engine. I couldn't imagine getting ready to start my car. I just, oops. Thankfully, I've never had to worry about an animal involved with my car, but Hulk smashing the door frame. For a moment, I was like, man, I feel really strong. And then I thought to myself, what am I going to do? I had an Anakin Skywalker moment. What have I done? Well, oops. That was my mistake. That's what happened. But Cormoran, I think we've all had old cars at one point in time. I know my first Toyota was a certified POS. It lasted me, I got it in 2007. It made it to Michigan and Virginia, and I got rid of it by 2009. So it was a 2-year car, and the week after I sold it to somebody, it broke down. So I apologize in advance. We're still friends. But yeah, I've driven my fair share of Toyota POSs, and now my current car, which was nice, is now falling apart around me. So it's nothing to do with my own fault. So let's see. We're looking at this guy, Wonder Woman 1984. Pedro Pascal is reportedly playing Maxwell Lord. Well, that news came out on the 26th. But now, let's look at this, which I didn't mean to click on that, so I apologize. Now, Pedro Pascal, look at his face. Look at it. Because he is going to be, allegedly, he's been cast as Star Wars main guy from the Jon Favreau TV show. So, Jon Favreau's Star Wars TV show reportedly cast Pedro Pascal. It's shaping up to be quite an exciting 2019 for fans of the galaxy far, far away. Not only will J.J. Abrams' Episode 9 end the Skywalker saga, the franchise will finally make a leap into the realm of live-action television. Earlier this year, it was confirmed Favreau would spearhead the endeavor, which was going to be part of the Disney-exclusive programming slate for their upcoming streaming service. Viewers are eager to learn more. With the typical Lucasfilm fashion, details are being kept firmly under wraps. Well, he wrote this. Again, it's Chris Agar, mother. It's not typical Lucasfilm fashion. It only works. It's only kept hidden when it plays into the narrative. Because remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about how, or was it the Nostalgia Tax video I made, how some article from a reputable source started discussing how Lucasfilm usually keeps these things under wrap, but because the landscape of Star Wars has changed, they can't sell Luke Skywalker and Lando anymore. They got to let everyone know they're involved early on. So, Chris, my friend, brother, I hope you're listening to this show one day and you realize, dude, you don't do your research, because Lucasfilm doesn't always do this. It's not typical fashion. It only plays out when they have no plan. So for the time being, fans have had to make do with whatever rumor mill offers up. Reportedly, the show will take an audience to Mandalore, with names such as Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Alan Taylor calling the shot on various episodes. One aspect of the series have been curiously quiet on the cast, but now there's one name said to be attached. Making Star Wars, because we trust and love them, reports Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones / Narcos is the central lead of the show. He has a number of film and TV credits under his name, including an appearance as Whiskey in last year's Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Pascal's most high-profile gig is on the horizon in a supporting role in Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 1984, where he reportedly plays Maxwell Lord. At first, I read this, I said, who? And then I saw that he was Whiskey in Kingsman: Golden Circle, and I liked Kingsman: Golden Circle quite a bit. Not as great as the first one, but I had a good time watching it. I thought it was a pretty solid film. Loved the ending. especially with Elton John. And this guy was cool. This guy had the charisma. I think this guy is what we were calling for. I know some people say, well, he's, whatever. Why can't they hire? If anyone says, why can't you hire a white dude and why hire a Hispanic guy, then you might have a problem if you think that's an actual critique, because we've seen this guy play other shit. Well, at least I have. And he brought the charisma and the presence that I think we needed. I know we need in a Star Wars movie. No more milquetoast, lame, soy boy Star Wars characters. Oh, look at me, I'm a joke. Look at me, I'm a joke. I make your mama jokes. I get chastised. Now, you need a dude that ain't going to take shit. So hopefully there's no Vice Admiral Holdo to put this dude in his place, and he just moves on in and does what he needs to do. Plus, hearing that he's going to be Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman is kind of exciting, especially for a guy like Joel. So while an actor of Pascal's talent and range, he's done everything from fantasy to action to drama, would be a valuable addition to the Star Wars universe, it remains to be seen if this pans out. Production on Wonder Woman 1984 began back in June, and the project is still filming. Judging by the set photos, the Star Wars TV show will be rolling camera shortly, so there could be a scheduling conflict that prevents Pascal from signing on. As comparison to the first Wonder Woman movie, blah, 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 I don't care. So, real quick, for those who don't know who Maxwell Lord is, I don't think this should be a problem, because if I'm correct, let's see, Maxwell Lord, I don't care who Maxwell. There's a fictional supervillain. I believe he can live to be a long... I don't think he'll be the main character, the main villain. I think he'll be part of it, and then he'll appear later. So he could have a small couple of week window to have been filming. Let's see. He's the son of Maxwell Lord III, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to see if he's who I think he is. Whatever. You guys can check him out on Wikipedia. Interesting character. Wonder Woman snaps his neck. I wonder if they're going to pull that in this movie already, or they're going to save it so he can have a longer lifespan. I believe you need to have villains that survive more than one movie, so you can build to the the big climactic death. But that is rumored to be their lead for the new Star Wars TV show. So we have a super chat from the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey that just says, "What?" Oh God! So that's what we're starting. I'll clarify that in a moment. And then the Pui says, "Hello, Jeff. Star Wars 2019. Exciting for who? Who? Not us. Not us. I'll speak for me, myself, and I, and Venom, because we are Venom." But it's a moment ago, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey said, "What?" So Jeremy has come up with a plan, and I back this fully, as well as Ethan does. When we go to Star Wars Celebration, and we go to the hall where Kathleen Kennedy will be talking about a great victory for women and all this other PR shit that she's going to pull for Star Wars, we're not going to boo. Every time she speaks, or anyone speaks, we're going to pull the old Stone Cold Steve Austin Hucklebuck. So they say something, you go, "What?" "Well, I'm so glad to be here today to honor the..." "What?" "Well, the legacy of Star Wars has been so great and rich, and now that..." "What?" And you just keep cutting them off. And the crowd gets in on that. So the panels can be crazy. We're going to troll Lucasfilm with the old Stone Cold Steve Austin what. So Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, thank you for reminding me. Okay. People like it. People like it. But this guy... in closing, I'm fine with him. I've never seen him in something I didn't like. Then again, I've only seen him in one thing, so I'm okay with that. Not a Game of Thrones fan, not a Narcos watcher. I may watch Narcos down the road, who knows? But what's his name? Pedro Pascal. He's got the charisma. I thought he looked a lot like Burt Reynolds in Kingsman: Golden Circle. And, Burt Reynolds, Han Solo, those kind of guys, you need a cool dude in Star Wars. You need a cool dude. You need an optimistic youth. You need a badass chick. You need an alien sidekick and a robot. But you don't need a feminist robot like L337, or excuse me, a militant robot. You don't need one of these unlikable douchey characters. You just need classic archetypes in a galaxy far, far away to engage people, and you need a group of creators who don't take to Twitter to hide behind some bullshit PhD research or, the fact the guy wants to take him out on a mandate. How quaint. How quaint. But yeah, that is the big Star Wars news of the day. Now, let's change gears. Let's shift gears back, because when you're talking about Fox, you're always taking a couple steps back. You're never talking about future Star Wars content or future anything, because Fox, man, I don't love 20th Century Fox like I used to. They haven't put out something amazing in a little bit. So this is just going to be a quick detour into the Twilight Zone. Why Dark Phoenix was delayed according to its director. Oh god, shift into Turbo. Jesus, I haven't thought of Power Rangers Turbo in years. Mainly because I've never watched it. But I'm aware. I saw the movie. So the director is Simon Kinberg, and this is what Simon Kinberg had to say in relation to why the X-Men film Dark Phoenix was delayed. Mostly we focused on the third act, both emotionally and in terms of the physical scale of the action of the third act that we adjusted. And then there were certain things in the first two acts of the movie, very few things, but to set up those changes in the third act, we had to adjust some things in the first two acts. So that was all fluid and felt consistent. So that it was all fluid and felt consistent, unlike that sentence. It was a date, February 14th, that we initially liked for the movie. But when we realized that we weren't going to have the visual effects ready to release it globally the way we wanted to, and the Gambit date opened up, it wasn't going to be ready for that June 7th date. We looked at the date versus the February 14th date, and the studio did, and we did. And we felt like June was a bigger opportunity for us globally. More screens, more IMAX screens, a better chance to play China, where these movies have massive followings. The old China card shows its ugly face again. We also see more IMAX screens, X, Y, and Z. So this movie has been pushed back to June 7th of 2019. Originally, it was supposed to be, February 14th of 2019, something like that. Yeah. So there's Jennifer Lawrence, J-Law, the least likable X-Men actress ever. Please give me back Rebecca Romaine Stamos. She seemed fun. Her Mystique had reason to exist. Now I feel like they've turned Mystique into this reluctant hero and villain. Let's not use Hunger Games to take a character out of context and ruin her. You want to talk about a woman leading charge in terms of mutant rights? Well, have it be Storm. Have it be Storm. Storm led the X-Men. She's a great character. Mystique, fuck Mystique. All right, you can transform and you can make Nightcrawler. Whoopity-doo. Doesn't mean anything to me. Hunger Games credibility aside, Mystique is a shit character with no purpose in the new X-verse. But there we are. We know that it's going to get pushed back for effects and CGI. They want China, all this stuff. When you thought that the China market was losing its importance to these studios, leave it to 20th Century Fox to be living in 2013. Guys, China. We have to focus on China. Well, I hope that in June 2019, most of the world isn't focused on, I don't know, anything else, because it's possible. Kevin Garnett said so. But I don't know. 20th Century Fox and their X films, just, I don't care anymore. I know a lot of you don't care either. Oh, we had a few more super chats rolling, so let's read those. Thank you very much, guys. So first one was from our friend Swinging Cod. It said, Max Lord was a former PR rep for JL Europe, who was low-level telepathy, killed Cord Beetle, mind-controlled Soups, and was killed to stop. I do remember that. I knew he had powers. I guess I was mixing him up with Vandal Savage. So that was my mistake right there. But Maxwell Lord, cool. A long-time character. Wonder Woman's going to get the fight. Cheetah as well. And, I don't really want to dump on Kristen Wiig because she has been in some good stuff. But anytime I see Kristen Wiig in a serious role, I laugh. Like in The Martian, I went to see that and I was like, oh, cool, this is going to be great, everybody. And then Kristen Wiig rolls and I'm just like waiting for the joke. Waiting. It didn't come, but it took me out of the movie because she is just, a comedian. Pretty good one, too. I give her props. On SNL, she had some really great skits. But especially the red flag one. She was great. It's funny though. She didn't have any humor in Ghostbusters. It's kind of required to make the movie work. Brad Noble says, confirmed, Jeff has a stack of dimes for a neck. I've never shown myself on camera, so you don't know what my neck looks like. Looks like people want me to click on Toy Story 4. Where'd it go? I guess we can. I really want to talk about this Disney Park cheap prices. So this is older news, but it still checks out. Tim Allen says that the highly anticipated Toy Story 4, its ending is a very emotional one. Disney and Pixar began their journey with Toy Story over 20 years ago with the release of the first one in 1995. The first one was directed by John Lasseter, who will be leaving Disney at the end of this year. I think it was for hugging people, right? Let's see. Toy Story marked a milestone, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. Toy Story 4... Toy Story 3 didn't really do it for me. I talked about this with Anna the other day on the High Council last week, which is the other day, 8 days ago now. Andy sold out. You didn't need to give away Buzz, Woody, Jesse, the horse, and the unicorn. You should have just kept them in a box because one day Buzz Lightyear will go for some good money on the market. We already know Woody's worth some money. And maybe Andy is the kind of guy that likes to hold on to a vintage toy. It's worth $10,000, but I don't want to sell it. My mom gave it to me. So... I don't really like the idea that Toy Story 4 exists. The story was good after number 2. Number 3 is the most try-hard, you crying movie. And it didn't work for me, didn't work on me. I don't own it. I don't own any Toy Story movie. I own the first one on VHS from 22 years ago when it first came out. Grandma came to the rescue and bought me Toy Story, and I played with my Buzz Lightyear figure for years. But other than that, not happy. Now I know this is older news too, but I always find it funny to talk about Disney. They're offering affordable variable pricing for their parks. So, wow, single day tickets may cost from $109 to $129. $129 to go to Disney? I'm not cheap by any stretch, but I would not pay. For some reason, $60 to $70 seems fair for a theme park because you pay for everything on the inside in terms of food and drinks. And I get it. I don't expect to be given free food and free drinks at a park. These are businesses. But I don't know. I guess I have a different perception of Disney parks. I mean, they're watching every movie you make. They make their cast wear the same underwear, or at least they used to. And it seems too kiddified. Now, if I had a family, yeah, I guess I'd take them to Universal Studios. They have Nintendo. Star Wars kicks my ass. Nintendo's way better. Fight me on that one. But I digress. $109 to $129. I would love to know how much Jerry has dropped Disney parks. And I'd love to have that money secretly funneled into my Swiss bank account so I could buy a car. No, but I was just curious. This was a click more for me than you guys because I wanted to know how much is it to go to Disney, and it's a lot. I know the food's expensive, overpriced, but there it looks like what Star Wars Land is gonna look like. Beautiful. It looks like a shittier Canto Bite mixed with Tatooine, mixed with Naboo, mixed with... Well, it's prequel or it's sequel era stuff because there's a new TIE fighter just chilling right here. So, I don't know. If it was the old Millennium Falcon, I'd go, but it's not. I've seen pictures. It's the new shitty square-dished one. I'm so... Richard, thank you for wanting to back Stealing Solo. I appreciate that. It's available now. We got 18 days left, guys. So check that out. It's exciting for me. It's exciting for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, what is a fun topic to cover? Because we talked about Star Wars and the Russian bots. We've talked about Marvel. We've talked about DC. We've talked about Disney. All the news has been covered. We need fun. We need a game. I wish this was a segue to something big and crazy. We need call-ins. I listened to the Kill stream last night and I thought, this would be the perfect time to do a call-in segment. And I'm not giving out my number, so there won't be a call-in segment for today. But down the road, soon, 2 things that are coming to this channel before the end of the year. 3. a website, a P.O. box, and a call-in phone number, and number 4, a Discord, because enough people ask for it. We need more Naruto. I've never had any Naruto, so I don't fight you on wanting more Naruto, but I can't get excited for more Naruto because I've never, ever had any. Oh, this should be the Deadpool Christmas movie title has been reportedly revealed. The title for Fox's mystery Deadpool movie coming out this December is reportedly The Deadpool Before Christmas. Last week, the studio mixed up their upcoming release schedule, and now we have a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2. It's allegedly a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2. I would just like to say that I believe firmly, this is just my belief, no confirmation, there's what I believe, that this is nothing more than Disney's attempt to test the waters for PG-13 Deadpool, so he can join the MCU and you can get, they can milk you for more money. So don't fall for the trick. Just watch the movie at home. Do what you want, but I'm Deadpool 2 on Blu-ray. That's all I can say. Is I'll watch that. Ooh, let's see what IGN gave Venom real quick, because if they're not busy analyzing their fan base on Twitter, oh, these toxic fans, this and that, well, maybe they're giving valid film criticism. They're not. They're going to give it 4 out of 10, not enough water. But still, let's have a laugh at the Venom review. Oh! Venom review, a turd in the wind. Ouch. Hold on, I'll let you guys see that I'm not making this up. Sometimes seeing the word just work. What are these words worth, Mr. Romney Wordsworth? I'm excited. Next Wednesday's night, and if you know me, you know how much I love the Twilight Zone, how influential it is to me, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Then, buddy, for a review of Ruben Fleischer's Venom starring Tom Hardy. And the description of Venom as a movie provided by a quote from the titular antihero itself: "An endless, legless, faceless thing rolling the street like a turd in the wind." It's like the anti-Roy Batty speech about teardrops in the rain. Well, turd in the wind. Do you have any musically inclined listeners? I know Cyber9 of you. Could we get somebody that's well acquainted with guitar? Could you record a cover of "Turd in the Wind"? It would be like "Dust in the Wind." You just to "Turd in the Wind." All Venom is a turd in the wind. I'll send you guys free gifts if you record that for me. But here's the verdict. Tom Hardy's committed performance can't overcome a painful script and indecisive direction, resulting in a film that with a personality that's split as the titular character. There are occasional moments of brilliance in the dynamic between Eddie and Venom that give a hint what the film could have been in steadier hands, but ultimately that only makes the finished product a more frustrating 4 out of 10 bad. Tom Hardy does his best to elevate a tonally confused script, but Venom will leave you begging for an antidote. Oh, Laura. Ooh, Charlotte Thomas. There we go. Venom, turd in the wind. You heard it here first. I want that to be on the Blu-ray box. If Sony has the balls to put that on there, Venom, turd in the wind, Laura Prudhomme, IGN. There we go. That's what I do. Can't help that there's a robot, guys. My true form is showing. Robot Jeff. The Rookie Critic, thank you very much for Super Chat. Hey, Jeff, feeling extra motivated to work on videos today. Even got my ass up early. What was the Star Wars short video you wanted us to make and send you? Oh, thank you for reminding me. This is important. This is very important. Listen, ignore the beep, boop, and the pinging and all that other dumb shit. Pay attention to this. So, Star Wars is putting out a series called Our Star Wars Story, where they get a bunch of sycophantic fans coming out of the woodwork to discuss their Star Wars story. Basically, it's PR spin we're a united community and this is our Star Wars story. So I thought, how can I make fun of this? Their stupidity, their blatant attempt to just brush under a large portion of the fan base under the rug who's dissatisfied with the films. So what do? We make our own version of our Star Wars stories. So I would like everyone out there are 430 of you out there. If 430 people send in videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into chapters, and we're going to do it. Basically, I want to release 10-minute segments to counteract these our Star Wars story videos, and they'll be the Fandom Menace, the people who are upset with Disney Star Wars. You'll get to be featured on the video. We'll put your name or whatever you want to be called, and you basically talk on camera about Star Wars, your collection, how you loved Star Wars, and if you're very dissatisfied with the Disney films. That's what we're going to do. So Rookie Critic, as well as anyone out there is welcome to join. All you have to do is film yourself in decent light with decent audio. We won't be able to use 3GP cell phone footage. So take yourself outside if you have to. Tell your cat to go outside, whatever, to get the audio just right, because we will make this, we will feature you. It'll be a Fandom Menace celebration. We'll title it Our Other Star Wars Story, and we'll fight back against the ego of Disney and the fake fandom that they try to promote. It isn't all doom and gloom for everything Star Wars ever, but there is a large portion of people who are upset. So why not let us have our voices heard as well? So I will be this will be the location for that. And like I said, do your segment 1 minute, maybe 90 seconds maximum, because enough people will send in videos. And like I said, tell what Star Wars meant to you, how you were disappointed with the new Star Wars from Disney, and we'll put you on the video. So it'll be a lot of fun. Black Angus Reviews, thank you very much. Do you think a boycott of Whammon films to include even Infinity War 2 and Wonder Woman 1984 will help stop the high soy content that the MSM? #what? Well, here's the thing you got to understand. If we call for a boycott or anything like that, we're going to be called sexist, misogynistic dinosaurs, a relic of the Cold War. No, if we call for a boycott, then we give them ammunition. What I do on this channel is I repeat a lot of things. I reiterate a lot of certain points, not because I've run out of things to talk about, but because someone is always listening to me, Ethan, and Jeremy, waiting to use our words against us. So that is why I have Good Morning Pop Culture as a way to present myself to you as me, to let people know who I am, what I'm truly about, so that way they can't misconstrue my words and make up bullshit about me. So that is why here on this channel, I will never call for an official boycott. All I can say is maybe you wait to go listen to a reviewer that you trust. Maybe you wait for us to review it, type of thing. Now, I wouldn't call Infinity War 2 a Whammon film. If you skip out on Infinity War 2, you might give them more ammunition, because if Infinity War 2 makes less than Infinity War 1, I guarantee you will hear these crazy critics that say, well, because there wasn't a strong female lead, that is why it made less than the first one, and Captain Marvel was a bigger success because it made more money in terms of percentages based off its box office to budget. I guarantee you're going to see articles, box office to budget ratio. That's going to be a phrase that is used heavily in the early months of 2019. Scott Mendelson's going to say it. All these other crazy people from comicbook.com, CBR, Bleeding Cool, all of this shit is going to be straight up box office to budget ratio. That is going to be how they sell you this movie. They want to first, while they're banking on it's got the lowest budget of 150 mil, so it's going to make whatever. Well, guys, it made 100 and 300 something times its budget, blah 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 percent. Okay, so that's what they're going to bank on. So I wouldn't boycott Infinity War 2. And Wonder Woman 1984 isn't a Whammon movie. Wonder Woman 1 was fine. Either you loved it, you didn't like it, or you hated it. I was more in the middle between liked it and didn't hate it. There were moments that were awesome. There were moments that were stupid. Gal Gadot was great. I really like her. I don't think she needs to suffer for this Whammon thing. If anything, Gal Gadot needs to be elevated as being likable, charismatic, not worried about being a woman. It's not about putting down men. She makes her movies. She does her thing. She's got her superpowered character who doesn't really need to tear down dudes. Like I said in the Captain Marvel video, Wonder Woman allowed herself to sleep with Steve Trevor. She can pick up tanks and do other stuff, but she allowed herself to be vulnerable, to be human, and that's why the character works. I don't think you want to, or at least me personally, I wouldn't want to make Wonder Woman suffer, because that's more of what I want. I don't need a scally, frowny biscuit, I wear a leather suit from my neck to my toes type of character that is all about cynicism, snark, and bad humor. No, Wonder Woman is a fun, peace-loving character that I think we need more of if you're going to do just more of that sentiment. Now, hopefully Wonder Woman 2 follows the first formula because it worked so well. I don't think Warner Brothers is going to jump on the whole whammon bandwagon because of Marvel. I think they're going to want to continue the success with the DC brand by making Wonder Woman what it was. Fun, there's going to be some 80s throwback, but there's also going to be a continuation of the tone. I don't think the character is going to become cynical in the 80s, because the 80s wasn't a decade of cynicism. It was a decade of excess, parties, cocaine, Miami Vice, bright colors, great music, great movies, all kinds of stuff. I don't think they're going to put Wonder Woman in that situation, that scenario, and make it dour and boring. You see, they skipped over the late 60s and 70s with the hippies, free love, and the bra burning and stuff like that. That is when I would have been like, really, they're going to take Wonder Woman there? They've jumped over that point to go to the 80s, a period of time where everybody's happy and loves content from. So I don't think you should boycott Wonder Woman. I think if you want to stop the high soy content, you just wait, because they eat themselves. They kind of self-destruct. Ghostbusters, fucking flop. Ruined the brand. Ocean's 8, not really the movie that everyone thought it was going to be. You know, you can tell these preachy SJW wet dream movies, you can see them from a mile away. And all you got to do is turn your nose in another direction and walk away. It's really easy to win this, beat this high soy content battle, this, crusade, this thing that they're pushing down our throats, just by not giving it your money. I wouldn't go out and make a public decry against women in film, because you defeat our purpose of good movies with no matter who's in the role. I think at the end of the day, what I'd want, if somebody says, Jeff, what do you want to achieve of all this? I mean, after the $4 billion I'd like to make, I would really like to have it to where entertainment gets back to a point where if there's a woman director, okay, it's directed by Penelope Spheris. Okay, cool, that's the director. Well, it was written by, they don't go into saying a woman did this, a woman did that, blah, blah, blah. It's this person, this name is associated with the film, and it stars Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, Gal Gadot, and I don't know, Penelope Cruz or some shit like that. I don't need to hear about this empowering cast and this, that, and feminism. That we've already reached, a good thing. We don't need about or microaggressions in the movie industry. So that's what I want. We're really close to that, because your average person's pretty much accepting of a female director. They don't even give a shit who directed the movie 90% of the time, unless you got like those the Quentin Tarantino boners. We're like, oh my god, Tarantino's, I gotta see it. Okay, cool, good for you, man. But yeah, Black Angus reviews. If you feel really passionate about all of this stuff, awesome, be passionate, but make sure you do your research, because you want to be able to beat them with the facts. You want to be able to skirt the criticism of racist and sexist, and you don't need to do it because you're afraid. You want to do it because it takes away their power. They're just like Freddy Krueger. When you don't believe in them, they just disappear. So don't buy into their stupid words. Don't play into their power game. Just beat them with facts, and you'll win the day. That's all I can say, is you'll win the day. We had a bunch of super chats rolling, so thank you guys very much for supporting World Class Bullshitters. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you. And like I said, we'll be doing a lot more stuff for the patrons. In November, we're going to do our veterans stream for veterans, which is not a Patreon thing. You just, you're a veteran. I doubt anyone's going to lie about that. The type of people that are veterans, aren't full of shit. So, and if you're somebody that really wants to get on this channel, we'll have stuff down the road for you. Don't worry. But be prepared. If you're a veteran, any branch of the military, male, female, you're welcome that night, and we'll just have a lot of fun. So thank you in advance. The Rookie Critic says, do you want to see skits as well? LOL. I mean, if you send me stuff, I could watch it. I probably would never talk about it on the channel, and right now is not the best of times for me. So, in regards to that Star Wars thing, just, send in, a 90-second clip of what Star Wars means to you and how Disney has bastardized it. It's really, I'll put out a prompt, and you guys can get more into it. But for those out there who are who have, you know, made a point to send in a video already, awesome. If it just meets the quality standards, we'll put you on there. I don't usually say, you know, watch your language, but if you really want to beat them, again, don't say Disney Star Wars fucking sucks. No, you just got to beat them with, I was disappointed by X, Y, and Z and the story and this, that, and the other. After a while, it may sound like repetitive talking points, but then again, it also shows you that we all have the same problems with these movies, and it's not Rose Tico being Asian. It's Rose Tico sucking as a character, a poorly written character. By the way, can we stop shitting on Showgirls in the chat? I mean, I get it that it's fun to dump on that movie, but let's show some respect for Elizabeth Berkley and Gina Gershon. Okay, I'm just fucking with you. Rip on it all you want. It's terrible. Joe K4700, or excuse me, Joe K4700 says Ivan Drago to Star Wars. If it dies, it dies. Well, if it dies, it dies. I will watch from the sideline. Rookie Critic also says worldclassbs@mail.com, right? Do you want skits too? Rookie Critic, I mean, if you got something you're dying to show us, if it's awesome, I'll talk to you and we'll put it in there. We'll figure it out. But worldclassbs@mail.com is our email address for World Class Bullshitters. So if you guys ever need to contact us, that is the best way to do it. Reed Palancia, thank you very much for your super chat. I like that the same director is doing the next Wonder Woman. I have hopes of a good movie. I do too. Patty Jenkins did a great job with Wonder Woman. I thought it was going to be something, and it wasn't, and that's a good thing. You know, the young version of Diana, the actress that played her as a kid, had the right excitement, and I liked it. I was like, okay, this little kid can act. She's excited to be on Themyscira. She's got this spirit of adventure. I buy that as Wonder Woman because my experience with Wonder Woman are a lot less than a lot of people's. I've seen the Linda Carter show. Believe me, Linda Carter still maybe the best Wonder Woman. Man, she was ahead of her time. But, and I also think it's a missed opportunity that she wasn't one of the Amazons in the movie. But I also would see Wonder Woman in the Super Friends as well as Justice League cartoons. And never once as a kid did I think Wonder Woman was lame. She wasn't like Jean Grey who just went, oh, Scott, oh, and fell down. Wonder Woman was cool. So I did have an idea of what Wonder Woman should be in my mind, and I got that. I didn't get a new pro-feminist anti-male version. I got a love for all Wonder Woman, which seems to be the thing, and she could kick ass when need be. So maybe the cartoon Wonder Woman from Justice League may be the coolest, but Gal Gadot's nothing to rip on. She did a fine job, and she seems like a nice lady. Let's see. We also had Chris Abrams pop up. Thank you, Chris Abrams. Boycott. Hollyweird, spend more time with family. Well, I do agree that you should spend more time with family watching good movies, good entertainment. Like I said last night, my mom and I have been watching Mission Impossible because I got all of them now. Well, obviously not the new one because it just came out, but it was fun to watch. I don't really like Tom Cruise as a person. He seems like a weird, crazy cult leader. But, man, he does put all of his heart and soul into these Mission Impossible flicks, and it shows. And maybe his over-the-topness is what we need. We need a guy that embraces what he does. I'll give it to the MCU actors as well. You know, Chris Evans may not be the real Captain America, but he does a damn good job representing it on film. You know, I'm kind of like, boom, salute you, Cap. Good job. You're not real, but I kind of wish you were. Same thing with Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, Scarlett Johansson, everybody. They do give a shit and they show on screen. And I think that's why these Marvel movies have worked. Maybe that's why the DC ones have worked, but maybe that's why Gal Gadot does work, to jump back on Wonder Woman and this whole soycott thing. Now, if it was an actual soycott of, you know, removing the soy from all this stuff, I don't like the fact that there is this attack on traditional men in film. It's not that I feel insecure. I don't care. I can go back and watch the classics. And you know what the best part about all this is? The real world isn't like Twitter. Twitter's a very small percentage. You go out into the real world, men and women don't act like they do on Twitter. You know, the world is still a pretty good place. So don't fall into the trap of, oh my God, I read this on Twitter. Twitter's a fucking echo chamber. For us, Twitter is an announcement board to let you know when we're going live, how you can pick up Stealing Solo, link in the description below, and do many other things. It's a way to connect with all of you out there. For us, Twitter isn't a reflection of the world. It may be a reflection of fucking Southern California where everyone's crazy. But don't ever fall for the trap of I saw it on Twitter, that's how I feel. These people on Twitter are nuts. They have no lives. They can, they have the freedom of speech to do and say what they want. Cool, I support that. Have fun. Me personally, I don't fall for your bullshit. So thank you very much. No thank you. Go away. I had not heard about the SJW veterans article. Let me check that out, because fuck that if that's true. Now, I've gone on record, I'm not this super duper patriot. I'm not one of these people that's like, America, fuck yeah. But I'm also not one of these people that shits on the military, the people involved. Maybe I don't like war and all this crap and people dying, but I'm not going to dump on some dude that has, put in the time or been injured or all this stuff. We have people out there that listen to the show. Some of them may be here right now who served, who have, been in accidents and, lived their life a certain way, and they are in pain, and they served. And I'm not against those people. They've paid a big price, and they deserve. The thing is, it's not like everyone in the world is how's the way I want to say that? It's not like they're putting a burden on society. To show a little respect to somebody, be it anybody, it doesn't even have to be somebody in the military. Showing respect for a teacher or an old lady, giving them, like, people go to a restaurant, they'll buy a soldier's meal. They'll also sometimes buy an old couple's meal or something like that. It's just a sign of respect. You lived your life, you've done this, you've done that. It's just a way to show respect for these people. I can't get behind this whole SJW thing. Now, hold on. Let me... that's a quartering video. I can't watch that. I'm sure Jeremy wouldn't even give a shit if we watched it here on the channel, but I don't want YouTube to think we're stealing his content. Oh God. Okay. This comes from Twitchy. This could be the cringiest thing on the channel. So please don't, don't choke on your morning coffee. Oh God. Hot take. Let's expand the definition of veteran to include social justice warriors. Brett T, I hope you're being facetious right now, bro, because I don't know if I can handle your bullshit. And I'm gonna put this on the screen so everyone can see that I'm not making this up. Let's click off that. I don't like pop-ups. Dr. Warren J. Bloomfield, editor of Homophobia, How We All Pay the Price, and co-editor of Readings for Diversity and Social Justice, shares an anecdote at LGBT Nation about how he found himself behind a military veteran at a veterinarian's office, and noted how the veteran was given a discount because of all the service to the nation. That got Bloomfield thinking about the word veteran and how it's unfortunately tied to military and nasty military things like wars. Isn't it time to expand the definition of veteran to include those who advocate for change through peace? No, because I advocate for change in entertainment through peace, through thinking I'm not a damn veteran. You don't get... Here's the fucking thing. I'm sorry, I kind of got mad just reading that opening paragraph. Getting a hashtag started, you don't get a fucking pass on anything. You sat on a computer. You didn't do anything. Your stance on the president, military, anything aside, you have to pass physical training. Your life is in danger. I knew guys that I went to high school with. One dude, I won't get too deep into it, but he made it into the military, but he didn't make it too much afterwards, if you know what I mean. He's no longer with us. The stress from that put him out of commission, and it's a sad story. Same guy, different guy, same class, has made a career out of it, and now he's on the wall at our local Kroger. He's a good guy, good family man. He always posts on Facebook, oh, I'm back home from wherever he is fighting or doing whatever he does. He's involved in that shit too, and he comes home and he works. Are there benefits for these people? Yeah, because they put their life on the line for whatever. I don't care about advocating for peace through whatever. You know what? Maybe down the road, Dr. Warren J. Bloomfield, maybe you can advocate for peace, and then you can get a day, kind of like, I don't know, somewhere in January or February, there's like a Dr. Warren J. Bloomfield Day, and it can be like, oh, he fought for equality and this and that for gay people. Cool. You can get your day. People have their days. Maybe they'll have a street named after you, but you don't get a discount on shit, or you don't get the same benefits. How many millions of people died doing shit? way more than the people that are on Twitter. He writes, it's unacceptable when one's love of country is called into question when advocating for peaceful means of conflict resolution. It also is an act of patriotism to keep our brave troops out of harm's way and to work to create conditions and understanding that ultimately make war less likely. There's way more than that a hashtag can do. To be clear, I'm not arguing that everyone be granted retail discounts by expanding our classification of veteran, or even that other acknowledge us for our service of working for a better, more social, more just society. But take a few moments to consider those fighting a cultural and figurative civil war to reduce violence and injustice and place the United States on a higher standing around the world. No, I'm going to go with this person. My friend called me Boof. No, sorry, this is just trying to call attention to some bullshit. You're not a veteran. I'm not a veteran. You know who's a veteran? My grandma, my grandpa, my uncle. Who else was a veteran? And we're not even this big pro-military family. We don't, do 4th of July, my mom works. I'll go to somebody's house and drink and get in the pool. I don't sit and reflect. I'm not this uber patriot. I do like Captain America. I do like the idea of people getting along and having, getting over differences and stuff without fighting and killing. I'm not, in the division. You could listen to me talk on the channel. This isn't a new stance. But I'm also not going to give this douchebag a pass because they think, well, I was a veteran. I did that. No, military veterans, that's their thing. Or people talk about a veteran of an industry. Go out and do something. One day Ethan will be considered a veteran of the comic book industry in a positive way. But no, this person doesn't deserve anything. You're not fighting a cultural war. You're causing a lot of problems. That's all I can say, man. That's all I can say. So they don't get any treatment from me. I don't, or any different treatment. I'll treat you like everybody else. Gay or straight, you get the same treatment from me. If you're a cool person, cool. I treat you with respect. I'll treat anybody with respect until they prove themselves to be a major asshole, and then I'll just walk away. That's all I'll do. I'll just walk away. That's all I can advocate. Don't ever go harsh on people because they're different or whatever. Just walk away from them if they're causing a problem. Don't get into a fight. Have a difference of opinions and discuss it out, but be civil. Be civil. Don't there's no civil war going on. Believe me, I look out my window. What do I see? I see my neighbor's truck parked on the curb with his damaged hood, but I don't see this big cultural war taking place except on the internet where people are free to think. You know what? I will say one thing. Be glad that there's all these real veterans out there because you live in a time where you don't have to worry about real problems, so you can sit and bitch on the internet. I was behind someone at a veterinarian's office and they got a discount and I didn't. Well, Dr. Warren J. Butthole, good for you, man. Good for you. Let's see. The Pui says, hey, I live in SoCal. I'm trying to escape. You're correct. There are a lot of crazies here. Well, the Pui, first off, thank you and good morning, my friend. And I apologize in advance that you're stuck in SoCal. But I will say this. You are very close to In-N-Out Burger, which I'm very jealous because it's not a joke. Jeremy and I weren't joking on the High Council, nor was Ethan. Those are damn good burgers. Five Guys, I've had it many, many, many times. In-N-Out Burger is a life-changing event that everyone should partake in. When, because I believe this. When World Class Bullshitters is, the entertainment center of the world. When we're in California, sadly, you got to play the game. So we'll have to be out there at least for some, to make some movies. We will have a fan meet and greet, and you'll have to verify that you're an actual fan, and you couldn't have just joined after the news came out. But we'll take a big group of our fans to In-N-Out Burger, and we'll prove to you why In-N-Out Burger is the best. Let's see. The Rookie Critic said, when they are desperate enough to make a little cash, they'll make good films again without blaming everyone. Hope is not lost just yet. Well, the Rookie Critic, again, I agree with you. They do want to make money. It's all it's all business. And if you present yourself as a level-headed individual and you discuss why you dislike these movies and why you won't see them, and then people don't go see them, you'll win the battle of good entertainment. It's really about patience because the thing is, the SJW crowd or whatever you want to call them, they get crazier and crazier by the day. I mean, now they want to be associated as or considered veterans. You see what I mean when I said you just wait on the sidelines and they eat their own? It happens. It really does happen. It's not It's not this crazy out there thing that I'm telling you. The waiting game works, ladies and gentlemen. Playing the waiting game works. Let's see. Dayton Pfeiffer, thank you very, very much for this big super chat. The world-class bullshitters community is like the TV series Trailer Park Boys. We all act nuts and we have a good laugh. It's friggin' great. I'm glad that I discovered this YouTube channel when I did. Dayton Pfeiffer, as always, we're glad to have you, man. You're always here in the comments, watching the videos, supporting the channel. You rock. Everybody rocks, and I'd like to thank you. But Kendo would really appreciate that statement. He is a big Trailer Park Boys fan. I've only seen the Christmas episode on Netflix once, and I've seen their other movie, but I appreciate the compliment. I like it. We're all nuts and we have a good laugh. That's what I want. Maybe we get serious for a moment here and there, especially with this, but we do want to have a good time because, some people are working. We got people out there that are working at the loss prevention area at Target. We got people working in machine factories. We got people out there, we have veterans that listen to the show. Some people are on active duty. They have told us on the air, I got to do this, I got to do that. So there are people out there that use this show to get through the workday, and you need a good laugh. Believe me, I have a good time producing the show. So it's not like I'm trying to make you guys laugh and secretly I'm crying on the inside or have, depression or something sad like a Robin Williams situation. I'm having a great time doing this. I get up at the crack of dawn. I'm like, yep, time for another day. They say time to make the donuts. No, it's time to make world-class bullshitters bigger. So, Dayton Pfeiffer, you're a big part of that, dude, and I thank you so much. A lot of people talk about SJWs, quartering. I like the quartering quite a bit. If he's ever up early, I might ask him to show up on this show so we can have a discussion because that guy's cool. He's very complimentary to the stuff we've produced, Ethan, Jeremy, and I. He's the other Jeremy, but I like him a lot. I think his stuff is good. And when I want a hot take on some of the SJW outrage and stupidity, I go to his stuff because I trust him because he got punched in the face, but he always seems to be able to find these great stories and have an interesting point of view. Way back on the Ubisoft hirings up until now with this, I like the quartering. So he gets my thumbs up stamp of approval. Rookie Critic says, you eat breakfast yet? If not, here's a cookie, or here's cookie cash. Well, thank you, the Rookie Critic. I have not had breakfast. I have gone back into my training regiment because I had a few weeks of where I would go, but I wasn't eating right and doing all the right shit. So I'm back to intermittent fasting. I'm hitting it harder than ever at the gym. My body can feel it for sure. It's doesn't suck, but all my leg muscles let me know, like, hey, Jeff, we're here. Thanks for squatting to the floor. I'm just like, fuck, that's worth it. Star Wars Celebration will be looking buff, studly, and kicking ass. Actually, I'm already a big dude, so people will be afraid of me. So just imagine bigger guns on my arms. People will not mess with me at Star Wars Celebration. That's why I have no fear. And the clown has no penis. Cesaria Japan, thank you very much. You seem outraged. What? I thought social justice warriors don't buy stuff they preach. So what's the point of giving retail discounts to social justice warriors? What? I don't know. I think it's just they always want to be outraged. It's the oppression Olympics. Oh, I'm oppressed. I'm this, I'm that. You want to make yourself the victim. I thought you guys wanted to be treated like everybody else. Everybody's not treated. It's not sunshine and rainbows for anyone. Unless you're some big celebrity, and even then people do dislike you. But I feel like, again, I hate to use this example all the time, but like The Rock, a lot of people, he's like the most liked guy in Hollywood, maybe the most liked guy in the world. I mean, they're offering him $20 million to wrestle one match as the world champion in Saudi Arabia. That's a lot of love for one dude. Maybe it's mostly sunshine and rainbows for him, but it always hasn't been. So when these crazy SJW people are talking about equality and stuff, you have good days, you have bad days. There are certain things you can't control, and you got to just accept it. You got to face the facts, to quote a really shitty wrestler's theme song. You got to face up to that. You got to understand that you don't get if you want to be equal, you don't get preferential treatment. And then people get mad when people get preferential treatment because it's not fair. So it's just one big vicious circle. But Cesare Japan, thank you for continuing the what chance. We're going to have this channel whatting it up for the next couple of months. Making you wish that the Philippines had an In-N-Out burger. I wish you had one too, because I want to go to the Philippines to hang out, check it out. I want to visit the world. And everywhere I go, I want an In-N-Out burger on every corner because the world deserves In-N-Out burger. Just putting it out there. The Pui, thank you very much, says, ha ha ha, I can walk to my In-N-Out. Well, rub it in. I can dream about In-N-Out. Now, if I need to, I can go to a Five Guys, but their buns are always soggy and I don't like them. Or I can go to Shake Shack, which is like 2 hours away. Now, Shake Shack is worth a drive. If you guys haven't had Shake Shack, their cheese sauce is like velvet. I went there in Las Vegas in 2015 with my cousin, and oh my God, the food was off the hook. You know what? If you guys give me a second, I'll show you a picture of the Las Vegas food from In-N-Out or Shake Shack. The funny thing is, when we went to Las Vegas back then, the first thing we did was they wouldn't let us check into our room because the rooms weren't ready. So we left our luggage in the lobby safely, and we went to In-N-Out Burger, which was right off the strip. And it was fantastic. Mike, I had had it before. Earlier that year, I had popped my In-N-Out Burger cherry. First time I ever had it was in April of 2015, where I had eaten it at WrestleMania. And it was good. Dion and I ate there twice that weekend. Dan was there too. If you don't know who Dan is, he'll be back. By the way, listeners, we're about to hit 150 episodes of World Class Bullshitters, as well as 75,000 subscribers. And I wanted to do something extra special for those who have been with us since the beginning, or for those like our friend Seth who are going back to listen to the old episodes. So I am gonna connect with all the guys that have ever been on the show, and not just a one-time appearance, but like multiple episodes. And we're gonna have all the guys record an episode for World Class Bullshitters. And it's a celebration of the channel. It's going to be recorded because, some of those things I don't really trust some of them. I'll just put that out there. Shit. I really don't want the channel to get a strike. So what we'll do is we'll do a pre-recorded episode with everyone. It'll probably have 8 to 10 guys on it. So it'll be really confusing, but it'll be a lot of fun. And you guys can hear when we make fun of so-and-so who the person is. You'll know exactly who they are. Because I feel like sometimes we'll mention Phil or this or that, and you're like, who are these guys? And there was a point in time where they were a big part of the channel. But times change, things change, and the channel has gotten a lot more structured. It's a lot better. I'm really proud of the show that we have right now. And we're about to find it to the burger. I'm looking at all these delicious meals I've eaten with Dion in Michigan, big breakfasts at WrestleMania. By the way, we're going to announce every year when we go to WrestleMania where we're at. So if anyone out there wants to join us and hang out, for lunch or dinner, please do. Next year we'll be in California. No, excuse me. Next year we'll be in New York City. So we'll have a little hangout. It'll just be Dion, Dan, and I. But then we'll also do in the following year in Minneapolis, and wherever WrestleMania goes, we'll go as a channel. So you'll be able to meet us. Hell, even if they go to Canada or other countries, we're going. So be prepared for that, because I want you guys to get the full World Class Bullshitters experience. Alpha Terranima says, California will be the next state to be conquered by World Class Bullshitters in the pop culture crusades. And what a good land it will be once we have conquered it. I mean, we will have the best beachfront property in the world. And we'll just we'll make quality films. It'll be like the 80s. We'll have cocaine and coffee. Everyone will get wired and have a big party. And I found the image, by the way. I know this is early to talk about cheeseburgers. Yes, I said burgers. I was going to go boygos. But this looks incredible. Check this out. I know a lot of people are clicked away. They're like, I don't want to fucking talk about food. Well, tough shit. Look at this while we read the super chats. This is Shake Shack. This is fantastic. I've had it multiple times. There's a layer of velvety cheese sauce over those fries. A lot of love in the chat. I'm going to throw it back to you guys. You are the best group of listeners, friends, fans, anyone could ask for. Seriously, it's so cool to do this every day, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. We need World Class Bullshitters t-shirts. There's a Russian bot t-shirt I've put out there. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I made a Russian bot shirt last night. There will be World Class Bullshitters t-shirts sooner than you think. Don't worry. It's not a thing that I'm going to make you guys wait for. I had to get through stealing Solo and do a couple other things first. But we do sell T-shirts for the channel that you guys can get. These have been, some of them have sold out in the past, but overall there are T-shirts. They're my old business. I'm so sorry that I'm making people hungry right now with this food, but that was one of the best burgers. By the way, mine was the one with the vegetables because my cousin, who's 45, can't eat vegetables. Just saying. Love the dude, but come on, man. Eat a goddamn tomato. But you need the lycopene. How about a world-class bullshitter's computer monitor? We'll get those old CRT ones, and we'll sell those to you. So, yeah, we have sold T-shirts. We have T-shirts. Let's see. So you guys can pick up the Russian bot T-shirt. You can get Dong Lover, which has really sold well, better than I ever imagined. We also have the Fempire Strikes Back, Nightmare on Tico Street, Gay for Gosling. This thing has sold for years consistently. I don't know why people like this shirt, but people, and it's a bunch of different colors. Then we have the basic Episode 7 Suck shirt, and then a couple ones from my old website. This was the first shirt that I ever did that actually brought in a lot of attention to the channel. This was back in 2016. My mom came up with the concept. No, I came up with the concept, and she said, "Why don't you start a T-shirt business?" And I said, "Mom, okay." And I needed the funding. I found a way. She backed me for the website. I found a drop shipper that you pay. I get paid, then I pay them, and that kind of got the ball rolling on a lot of stuff with the channel. So there you go. There is the old. That is the old shirt. That is the first one that we ever had here on the channel. And let's see, Incarnate Studios. I'll give you guys the link right now. Boom, boom. Stop sharing the screen. And here we go. It is in the chat right now. So if you guys want to wear, I would like to see everyone. Wait, it says error, try again. Hold on, shit. Let me try that again. If that works now. That should work. Edward says, Jeff could not respond earlier because I was driving. Just wanted to say thank you for the kind words for the veterans. As a 27-year Army veteran and a disabled veteran, it meant a lot to me. Thanks. Edward, no problem, man. Like I said, I'm not going to act like I'm this super patriot and be fake to show outrage against the SJWs. But the older I get, the more I respect what you guys do, because I didn't do it. I didn't want to do it. Or it wasn't for me. I wasn't that guy. But I'm not going to talk shit about people who have suffered, who have been disabled because of it. Loudy, the guy who used to be on the show, both of his brothers, veterans, stuff like that. And they have some issues. They've gone through two of my friends from grade school. Didn't come out the same they went in. So believe me, I understand a lot of you guys go through. That's why we're going to have our veterans stream the closer we get to Veterans Day. And Edward, I hope you join us. Let's see. If you turn Hollywood into the glory days that it used to be, I will kneel before you live. Before you lie. At first I thought glory, and I thought you were going to say glory hole because Neil. I'm like, oh man, Hollywood glory hole. That's what you do with these people when they their movies make no more money. The Hollywood glory hole. Scarlett Salazar, I look forward to having you on too. Everybody, we will have that. It was somebody else's. It was one of our listeners who is a veterans ID. I can't take the credit. Someone did say you should do a veterans stream. I said yeah, and then we got really busy with this whole solo thing and all this stuff. But we will get it in November. It'll be slowing down post October, which is inventory time in Stellar Toyota, and we'll be doing that. I'm glad you guys had a good time last night on the High Council. I had a fun time too. I love doing the High Council. It's so much fun. You don't understand. Like some weeks there's not as much to talk about, but I love talking to Ethan and Jeremy. And the sad part and the great part is we don't get to talk to each other all week, so we're so excited once we do start talking. And we talked last night off air for quite a while. The week before that, I talked to Anna till 1 a.m. She is so nice. She is so nice, and was telling me about California and stuff like that. So we became Facebook friends. We were talking about Batman, the whole Bat Dong book, which she covered for her channel. So you guys should check it out. That's Star Wars Girl. A lot of good content coming from her, from Doomcock, all the channels out there that we're friends with. Even, other channels that we don't talk to that much are still pumping out really great stuff. I hope that you guys check out, a lot of YouTubers. Mecha Random, was that her name? God, I keep messing her name up. You know who she is. Check out her stuff too. Oh, go back and watch Retro Blasted. That dude is still one of my favorite YouTubers, and he's been back to putting out content. He just hit 7 million views on YouTube, which is a big achievement. There's a lot of people out there, and not a lot of people reach the success he has. So congratulations to Retro Blasted. A Pierce 629 says, I'm currently active duty, 14 years now. I just wanted to say thank you for the kind words and keep up the great work. I've been listening since December of 2017. Well, it Pierce 629, thank you very much. Thank you for supporting us since December of 2017. It's been a really big journey this year, and it's just the beginning. So I hope you're also available the night we do the stream. Will Dion do any other dress in the future? Yeah, Dion will dress up at all conventions as the turkey, and then I'll get other suits for other people. Don't worry. The World Class Bullshitters live experience only gets better with time. Unlike a lot of channels who reach a certain level of success and kind of just coast and go, I've made it, I'm just going to, enjoy this. No, I'm always working to do more to make it better. I put in more time now than I used to, and that's saying a lot, and I'm excited for all of it. Have I seen the new Spider-Man suit and Mysterio costume? And what are my thoughts on Mysterio as the new lead villain? I have seen both. I like the I almost said the Venom. Sorry, I like the Mysterio suit. It needs the fishbowl helmet, but I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I know that's not popular to say, but after watching Nightcrawler, I became a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan, or Gyllenhaal, depending on how you want to pronounce it. His sister is a solid actress too. She's not as good as he is, but still, that is a good family for acting. I like Donnie Darko. I've liked quite a few Jake Gyllenhaal flicks, but I'm excited to see him as Mysterio. Now, the Spider-Man suit, he's wearing a black costume. My guess is he's just throwing something on to fight crime because he doesn't want his secret identity known. And he's a poor kid from New York. It's not like he has Avengers money, on an account somewhere. He's got to go on his school trip and do his stuff. If Tony Stark dies in the next Avengers movie, I bet he leaves most of it to Pepper, 95% to Pepper, but he leaves a little bit to Peter Parker. So if he continues his hard work, he has a big job at Stark for all the sacrifices he did to save the universe type of thing. I need to do a Russian bot theory sucks shirt like your stupid Snoke theory sucks picture of Ryan Johnson. I can do that. I just made the Russian bot shirt as a joke because I thought it would be, how incredible would it be if 500 people showed up to Star Wars Celebration with a Russian bot t-shirt on, just walking around. People would be like, why are they wearing Russian bot shirts? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? And that would be the ultimate statement, at least in my eyes, because Ryan Johnson and all these people want to deny the responsibility that Star Wars has not done so well under their watchful eye. They want to be able to deny that, and they want to just, it's not people that dislike it, it's Russian bots, it's fake, it's this, it's that. I hope once Morton Bay Bug, they have announced that his article, his published paper is bullshit. I hope he understands that he's damaged his credibility to get closer to the little round-headed guy. You do not make up false claims and accusations and don't do the research in the attempt to belittle a fan base. You don't want to pull that card, because that is going to hurt your credibility moving forward, because you did this on the internet in front of millions of people, and thousands of hours have been spent watching videos about what you said. Don't think you're going to get away from this and this will be forgotten. There will be about 10 people mentioned in The Last Jedi drama, in the Wikipedia page, or wherever you want to put this at, in the annals of history. And Morton Bay, PhD, will be probably one of the last people, because he's the one that refused to let the past die and make sure that it was our fans to try to stick it to us one more time, to come out of the woodwork when it was convenient, when it fit into the narrative of Kathleen Kennedy still being in charge of Lucasfilm. They're trying that, and it's not going to work. Jeff, you have to try the Balmain bug, Morton Bay bug. It's really good. If you Google, you'll see what it looks like. Lokta, I know what it is. That's why I called him the Morton Bay bug, because I watched this show on Netflix with my mom with some super restaurants, and they were talking about some place down in Australia that has a lunch special. You get like a half a steak and a Morton Bay bug. It's ugly, but I guess it's delicious. Let's see. Spider-Man Far From Home is supposed to take place moments after Avengers 4. I want to be excited. I don't want to be cynical. Spider-Man's my favorite character. But, it's kind of hard to be excited for continuation of bullshit. Jeff, I gotta wonder, have you seen Felix the Cat, the movie? It's so awful in a bad, hilarious way, but the villain looks like a carbon copy of Mysterio. Felix the Cat movie. I have not. Felix the Cat's the black and white cat, right? I was thinking of Fritz the Cat, which I have seen. Fritz the Cat. Surprisingly, I do like Robert Crumb's artwork. He's one of those underground comics with an X guy who has done some good work. Maybe he's not my favorite, but he's made a fuckload of money and done some really cool stuff. So let's see. Felix the Cat, the movie, a 1988 Hungarian-American animated fantasy film, because that's how I like my fantasy films. Hungarian-American and animated. Let's type in villain. So the villain does look like, wow, okay, the Duke of Zill. Let me pull it up for the viewers out there, because I can't look at something and tell you guys it looks like Mysterio and then not show you. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Duke of Zill, aka Kmart Mysterio. I mean, he's got the round helmet head, the big cloak, gauntlets like Mysterio, a stupid belt. Maybe I should watch the Felix the Cat movie one day. Maybe not. Maybe not. Somebody said something. Would I dress up as Dion if you're... Who would dress up as... who would dress up as if Dion was going to be in a turkey suit? A chicken suit or Keaton Batman suit? Who would I dress up as? Excuse me, I messed that one up. I would like to dress up as Michael Keaton Batman. That'd be cool. People would be like, what are you? I'm Batman. That'd be fun. I don't know if I would be the one to dress up, though. It doesn't really fit my character. I mean, I'm all about having a good time, but I don't know. Who should I dress up as? Who would you like to see me dress up as, Pete? It'd be fun. Homecoming was overrated. Yeah, I agree. Jeff, have you heard... Hey, Jeff, have you heard Far From Home is supposed to have a gender non-conforming character? Just couldn't help themselves, could they? No. No, they could not. And the thing is, I think people would be more accepting of this shit if you didn't try to be like, hey, it's in the movie, it's the Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, could a Spider-Man movie be about power and responsibility? Not non-conforming gender characters? I don't... Put gay characters, whatever you want to put them in the movie. I don't care, but don't put it in the marketing, and don't use it as internet hype, because that's not going to get people in to see the fucking movie. What's going to get people into the fucking movie is it's Spider-Man, and it's exciting, and it's a continuation of the MCU. With a character, without a character, I don't think you're going to make any more money promoting a non-gender conforming character. And I have to keep reading that. Or a gender non-conforming character. That's not going to bring people into the movie, but it might turn people away, not because of their bigotry, but because they're so tired of being talked down to and sold a non-issue in a movie. Make it about a movie, not whatever weird politics of the day you want to promote in gender or virtue signal. Let's see. I never got around to seeing Homecoming. Don't worry about it. I got it on Blu-ray. I kind of bought into the hype last Black Friday. I was like, I got money. I can do what I want. And I don't feel so gender conforming, Mr. Stark. I don't want to transition. Alpha Terranema, you fucking win right there. That's a clap from me. Holy shit. Giant super chat from our friend Rokins. What day/time are you planning on doing a veterans podcast? Was going to call up my bros and get them to listen in as well. After 4.5 years and 2 deployments, I am grateful for what you do. Well, Rokins, thank you very much. That is very, very generous of you. I thank you. That's all I can say. So I'm pulling out the calendars. You can hear the papers ruffling. The 11th of November is Veterans Day. I don't know what everyone's work schedule is. Now, if we're trying to do a weekend, would people want to do it on the 10th? That's just a Saturday? Or would people want to do it on a Monday which is the 12th, the day after, because I feel like a Saturday could work. I don't know how people's work schedules are. I just assume a lot of people are off on weekends. I know some people work nights and do other stuff, but we could pencil it in for the 10th of November. I feel like a lot of people would be available for that. And that way we could get as many people on. We could talk about, it's basically going to be, at least this is what I had. It's how you guys consumed entertainment, or what you would do for fun. Like how you consume entertainment in the military, any branch. Joel would tell stories about how he would go on base to watch movies that would come out on base before they'd hit certain countries. Stories like that, what you did to get through tough times and stuff like that. So it's really all about you guys and whatever you want to talk about. But it looks like the 10th of November might be a good time for all those people. So if you're a veteran and you're a fan of this channel and you want to be involved, we'd love to have you. I'm going to find a pencil. Where's a pencil? Not a marker, because I don't want to, bleed through the paper. But let's just look at the 10th of November as that. And we'll make that at night, maybe 8 o'clock, 8 to 11, however long it takes to get as many people on to discuss whatever they want to discuss. Let me open up a new pack, and we'll make that happen. I'll try to get... Okay, that's written in now, guys. Okay, so a lot of pauses for the 10th of November. Okay, so it's now written down. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the day / date we do it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, Rokins, thank you very much. That was very, very, very generous of you. I appreciate it. So like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on here. And I'll make it known on Twitter. I'll make it known on the Facebook. And you guys will just have to email me when the day comes, and I will email you back with the link. And then it seems like a lot of people want to do this, and that's fine. Now, Google Hangouts only allows 8 people at a time in, so we'll have to do it in shifts. So if you guys come in for, like, I don't know, we do 20-minute rotations, 30-minute rotations type of thing. That way we can get through everybody, have a discussion, and then kind of move forward for the next group. Now, if not a lot of people show up, it won't be a problem, but just know that we'll have to rotate to get as many people in due to YouTube's, Google Hangouts shortcomings as a platform. Did I hear that Assassin's Creed main plot was wrapped up in a comic book? No, I did not. I did not. I don't really like Assassin's Creed anymore, and that's not to discredit your message. I got really into the first one. The second one was good too, and then Black Flag was fun. But I didn't do the American Frontier one. I didn't play the Egyptian one last year, or is that this year? I don't care anymore. Ubisoft and their annual titles really don't do it for me anymore. Even wrestling, something I love, I'm not buying this year. Mr. V, thank you very much. Gotta work at the boat farm. See you, comrades. See you later, Mr. V. I'll catch you on the other side of this show. If he dressed up as Keaton Batman, people would stop complaining that he was too short. Very true. I'm also, I don't know. I don't think I'd work as Batman in a rubber suit because a guy my size couldn't really get around comfortably in it. Does every organization claim a birthday, or is it just the Marines? Clever lads, they are. Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't know the Marines claimed a birthday. Now, World Class Bullshitters has an anniversary. We have October 21st, which is my own personal birthday. That was the first day we ever did an episode as World Class Bullshitters. So that is our anniversary here on the channel. People are talking about Black Flag. What is this? This is, what is it, Emperor Kang? No, Kang's from Ninja Turtles. Who is this? Duke of Zill. Hold on, let me read you about the Duke of Zill. Let's see what his plan was, because he has an oddly long Wikipedia page, or Villains Wikia page. So before he... the Duke of Zill is the main antagonist of the animated sci-fi fantasy film Felix the Cat the Movie. It's a sci-fi fantasy film. He's known for his red and black cape, dome helmet, and deep, mighty voice. The Duke of Zill was a would-be tyrant from a magical dimension called Oriana, who utilized an army of evil creators with the aid of the Master Cylinder, the animal goblin-like people of the land of Zill, his cowardly royal advisor, Grumper, and his circus henchman, Whack Lizardi. to usurp power from his niece, Prince Oriana, named after her home dimension. However, before he could accomplish and complete the victory, Oriana was able to use a special dimensional transporter to seek help from the prophesized hero from another world, a dark stranger. And that hero was Felix the Cat, who helped Princess Oriana and her people with the help of his friends from his world, defeated the Duke of Zil and restored peace to the kingdom. This sounds so bad, I might have to watch it now. Let's just check the let's see. Where is it on? I'm just trying to read the Wikipedia page for the movie. So, oh my God. Who worked on this movie? A lot of people whose names oh, wow. Budget, $9 million. Box office, $1.9 million. Man, it flopped hard. Critical reception. Felix the Cat, the movie, was widely panned by critics and audiences upon its release. Hallowell Films Guide called it a labored attempt to update the classic cartoon figure. Philip Strick of MFB commented that it was more likely to bury the ingratiating Felix beyond revival than to stimulate fresh legions of fans. In 2005's book, television, cartoon shows, Hal Eckerson noted that it managed to salvage whatever marginal charm the 1960s series had by dressing it up with a world-class or with first-class animation and character design. It's never been officially released in the U.S. on DVD. It was also a staple of Disney Channel's programming during the 90s. Well, it was a flop, guys. So Felix the Cat, the movie. It flopped harder than Solos' gamepad. Yeah, you are right. Am I looking forward to Venom this weekend? Probably not going to see it this... Well, I might see it on Saturday. Well, no. Saturday is a wrestling pay-per-view live from Australia. So I'll be going to Phil's house early in the morning. We're going to, have a keg race, or not keg race, I wish, a case race, and we're going to watch wrestling and hang out on Saturday, and then I'm going to come back and do some work in the afternoon. So I will not be seeing Venom this weekend. Maybe Dion and somebody else will, but as much as I like Spider-Man, I just don't love Venom. Yeah, people are curious about this. Let's see. The audio mixing of this movie is beyond shit. I have to watch this. I might do one of those "It's so bad it's good" video series, like the Nostalgia. Well, not the Nostalgia Critic, because I have all my hair and I don't lie. Brad Walker, that guy. Again, I have all my hair, but I tend to like him. I did meet him once, and he was very, very kind. So I'd like to meet him again at a convention. It's great that Doomcock got over 10,000. His channel is super underrated. Still can't wait for his Overlord Blu-ray channel, though. Nor can I. The dude deserves it, though. The dude will always be friends with us, and we will do whatever it takes to help him get to the top. Have I seen The Predator? No, I have not, Mutali. I will not watch it. Dion and Nick tried to tell me it wasn't that bad, but I listened to my friend Mahler from the UK, and he said it was beyond shit. I watched all of his 52 minutes of his review, and based on Mahler, I'm not going to watch, because Dion has nostalgia for Predator, so he will go see these movies based on Danny Glover from Part 2, and I'm just like, I only like Part 1. And then Mahler's like, yeah, this movie sucks. And then Mahler and I kind of agree on almost everything in terms of the MCU except Spider-Man, and we both have a mutual hate for new Disney Star Wars. So thank you, Mahler. If you ever hear this, you saved me $20, and I greatly appreciate it. Do I think EVS will Comic-Con this weekend? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I know he's busy working on Cyberfrog and stuff. So, the Nostalgia Critic actually reviewed Felix the Cat, the movie. I guess I won't. Do I mean Cinema Snob? Yeah, I like Cinema Snob a lot. Did I hear the shit that happened with Channel Awesome? Oh, yeah, Ether Prime. I followed that closely because I used to watch Channel Awesome quite a bit. And that's why I've made sure with this channel to never fall into the trap of the Channel Awesome or Spoonie or all those people, because this is really good for me, and a lot of people enjoy this, and I don't want to let my ego get the best of me, and I don't want to cause a lot of internet drama and problems. If you notice, the way this channel operates is I'm friends with all the guys. I know them personally. We won't have any infighting. There won't be any abuse claims or anything like that. I mean, maybe I got drunk and beat up Kendo or something because he was an easy target, and he's probably listening. But Other than that, I think our channel's rock solid. We won't have an ego falling out. There can't be a Yoko Ono moment because Dion's married. I'm friends with his wife. She's a great lady, so there's not going to be any of those problems. But the channel awesome stuff was really important to me. I paid attention to all of it because I use all these big channels who just disappear as a cautionary tale for me because like I said, I love doing this. I want to do this forever. There's always going to be entertainment to talk about. There's always going to be ways to boost this channel's visibility, to make it better constantly. So that is my goal. And the channel awesome stuff was just a reminder of Jeff, don't get involved with certain things. Don't make these mistakes. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Play it cool, work it out. Remember who watches your content. James Rolfe is pretty awesome. I like the Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm actually getting ready to watch his video after this. I got 2 videos queued up. I got the Nerd, and I got the new Cinema Snob about Rob Zombie's Halloween, because that movie, I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't hate Rob Zombie on a personal level. Don't even know him. He's got some good songs, but man, I hate his movies. He is a trash director. He's still better than Rian Johnson, though. GSam84 TM Cap, thank you very much, says, I know this is not part of the discussion, but what do you expect from the fight between Jason and Tommy on the Power Ranger movie sequel? Oh, okay. I didn't realize. First off, GSam84 TM Cap, you don't ever have to apologize for sending in a super chat that's different from the discussion. That is what you guys want to talk about, and that is where we will take the show. It's the beauty of Good Morning Pop Culture. People really do have the power. John Laurinaitis was full of shit. Now, I didn't realize that there was going to be a Power Ranger movie sequel. So if there's going to be a Jason-Tommy fight, see, I thought that they were going to try to make the Green Ranger a woman, and they were going to try to pull that whole, SJW Hucklebuck on us. I don't think it's smart to make Tommy Oliver a woman. Then you have 3 and 3 Power Rangers. I don't like that idea. It's not about having more women on the Power Rangers team. Power Rangers team's already, at least in America, they've always had 2 women on the team. Trini and Kimberly were the good ones. Kimberly survived the first season, and then we had, what's her name, Aisha, and I hated her. She just wasn't that good. At least Trini was believable and tried to act. But I did like the Green with Evil saga where Jason and Tommy fight in the tournament thing, and then they fight as the Power Rangers. It could be cool. I hope it's the 2 of them, kind of like the Japanese version. What is it? Not Barai. Whatever their names are. Geki and Barai, maybe. Those are their names, the Japanese equivalent. And they fight. I want to see those 2 have a one-on-one battle, have the other Rangers busy with a monster or a Zord or some shit, the SJW Voltron. And I want to see a balls-to-the-wall fight. And I want to see mutual respect. But I also want to see a little bit of competitive... kind of like Captain America and Iron Man. I'd like to see a Civil War element come out of that. Just straight up, they fight, but instead of like walking away, they come back together type of thing. So that's another thing they're not selling you on Infinity War yet. Part 2 is Captain America and Iron Man, the reunion. That's going to be really, really, really good. So I can't wait till next April. But GS Sam 84 TM Cap, that's my take. I didn't realize it. I'm hoping with Hasbro being in charge of the franchise now, like actually owning it outright, and the quality of the toys has jumped. Like now the Hasbro Power Rangers figures have multiple different head sculpts, new hands, all kinds of stuff. American toy companies are trying to match the Chinese and Japanese equivalent. Hot Toys out of Hong Kong is the gold standard for 12-inch collectibles. Then you have so many different Japanese brands like Mafex, SH Figuarts. There's so many I'm not even thinking of off the top of my head. Some people like the Tamashi Nation. Well, that's SH Figuarts. Some people like the Revolve Tech ones, all those ones. But these Japanese figures are coming out, man, and they're like $60 or $70. And people are going, how could you pay $60 or $70 for a toy? I wouldn't pay $5. That's fine. But if you're a toy collector, if you look at the quality that's coming out from Asia right now, and the fact that these places are getting wider distributions and they're more readily available, you understand why a toy company like Hasbro would go out of its way to up its quality. So with Hasbro owning Power Rangers, I foresee them milking the Mighty Morphin brand because it's a nostalgic brand. Now Power Rangers falls into Transformers, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe camp. And you know what? I actually would take Ninja Turtles out of there because in many ways I feel like Ninja Turtles never went away. Like the core 4 guys. Yeah, you had Venus de Milo or whatever in that shitty show, and you had really bad artwork with with the new version. But the Ninja Turtles have always kind of been there They lasted longer than Power Rangers. They started earlier. They're still kicking. Power Rangers is more of a relic thing. But Hasbro, they will play up on the nostalgia. That'll be their third big brand. Well, maybe it'll be their second brand because Star Wars just isn't what it was. But Marvel, the Marvel Legends are awesome toys. If you collect toys, you're looking for the Fantastic Four. You're looking for Silver Surfer. You want them. They're the most in-demand collectibles right now. And Hasbro with Power Rangers, I believe they're going to bring that level of quality to the American versions. They're going to do alternate heads, monster figure pieces, all kinds of stuff. So it's a long roundabout way of saying hopefully Hasbro makes this Power Ranger sequel look like the Power Ranger costumes. I don't like the new movie. I thought the movie itself was not terrible, and I wasn't pissed off about Black Billy and all this shit, but I didn't like that they went out of their way to do that. Like, as a kid, I never once went, oh, the Black Ranger's wearing a black costume. No, Zach was cool. Hip Hop Keto was the shit. I liked it, and I love the costume designs from the originals, not this new shit, so I can't do that. People were talking about ass burgers. That was so burgery. Yeah, I love the Mahler review so much. Isn't CinemaSins talking with Mahler soon? Maybe. Good for Mahler, man. He definitely deserves the widespread appeal or the widespread attention. Let's see. Dragon Knight Barai, way better than Shit Kid Tommy. Okay, so I did get the name right at least. Okay, that's all I can say. I got the name right. Figma are great too. Yeah, Figma. I was missing them. Figma is great. They have this Figma Golgo 13 that I want to buy, but I just won't allow myself to spend $190 on a little figure. I should have bought him when he was new, but I didn't know who Golgo 13 was back then, so I didn't even have the chance. But I do have Figma Link from The Legend of Zelda, and it is a great, great, great toy. Cesare Japan, thank you very much. Geki, the Red Ranger versus Barai, the Green Ranger. Cool. And then I goes right with the names. I've never watched Zhu Ranger all the way through, but I've watched a lot of those videos where it's like, what's the difference? And I like those a lot. To me, it's always neat to watch footage of Power Ranger shit that I've never seen because it was all filmed back then. And to many parts of the world, that's basically, that's it. That's the show. But for, me as an American, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Anytime I see new footage is really cool. It's like, it's like a time capsule back to being a kid. Kind of like when I see new pictures from Star Wars from behind the scenes or behind the scenes footage, I feel like I'm seeing Star Wars again for the first time because this is something new. It's not the same footage over and over again. So I love shit like that. Maybe one day I'll buy myself the Zhu Ranger DVD box set and I'll sit down and watch it. I won't do anything really for the channel because I don't think anybody cares, but I can talk about it like I do here. But it'd be something fun. Yeah, I too wish Figma figures were a bit cheaper, but I will say you get what you pay for. This Link figure I got is on point. And when you pay for SH Figure Arts quality, you don't get fucked up paint apps and all this other stuff. You get quality. SH Figure Arts is the only company to make anime action figures that look like they've come right off the page. Or excuse me, right off the screen, manga, if you want to call it that, if you want to use that version, illustrated for Dragon Ball Z. But they look dead on the character designs. You don't get like some weird distorted heads or shit like that. You get animation brought to life in plastic form, much like that new Dragon Ball Z video game looks straight up like the show. I have never seen a show called Photon Force. I apologize. Let's see. Sire J. Longstroke, thank you very much. Isn't it a problem the new trilogy lacks time gaps between events? The original trilogy spanned out 3 to 5 years. This new trilogy happened in 3 to 5 days. Sire J. Longstroke, I've been saying that for a long time, and yes, it is a problem. So, A New Hope, they used to, I don't know how they do the time anymore, but it was called 0BBY was like when A New Hope took place, and then it was ABY after that. So everything after Battle of Yavin was like years. So I believe Empire was 3, ABY, and then Jedi was like 4. So I think it's like a 4-year gap for the original Star Wars saga. Then you get the prequels that take place over what? 13, 14 years, something like that. And then honestly, the new Star Wars trilogy, let's see. So episode 7 starts at night, and then the next day we're on Jakku, and then the next day. So like within the first 2 days, Finn gets to the planet. Then that one day, they meet Han Solo, they do all this shit, they fight the Rathtar, they meet Maz Kanata, They fight the whatchamacallit. Rey gets kidnapped. So that's all one big day. And then let's say that takes 4 days for that movie. And then like the next day or so, whatever the indeterminate amount of time is, let's just say it's 4 days. Then Rey's off with Luke on Octo, meeting him, and then the rebels or the resistance is running away from the not Empire. And then that movie takes place over 2 more days. So realistically, your joke of 3 to 5 days isn't too far. It's maybe like 6 to 10 days. And all this shit happens over. And now I know they're going to probably try to put that, and they're going to make it I bet you there are less jokes in this new movie. They're trying to make it serious. They're trying to appeal to us and hope that we forget what came before it. And no, that won't happen. But yeah, a build. Remember the first time you saw Return of the Jedi and Luke shows up finally? It took like 20 or 30 minutes for Luke to show up. When Luke appears in that movie and he uses the Force choke, and you're like, oh man, that's cool. And then he uses the Jedi mind trick on Bib Fortuna. That's cool. And then he talks about, killing Jabba the Hutt. Oh my God. And you're like, where's this lightsaber? And he doesn't pull it out, and he uses the Force to use a gun to try to shoot Jabba. Then he gets sucked down into the floor, and he kills a Rancor with his brain. He figures out that he's going to use this bone like a lightsaber, stick it in the mouth, run away, throw the rock at the panel. It kills the thing. You're like, oh my God, Luke Skywalker. It's been years. He's been training. He's so cool. Where's the lightsaber? And then finally, he nods. He's got this big plan. Everything's going down. And then he grabs the lightsaber and shit goes down and he beats ass. There's that build. You're like, man, where's this training coming from? This, that, and the other. It's been years. He's been out training to be a Jedi. Your mind could wander. You could make up endless possibilities in your brain. With the way the last two have been structured, even with Empire, to jump on back to that, when Luke starts out in the new movie in Empire, he uses the Force to pull the lightsaber and fight the Wampa, and he's been training. He knows how to bring stuff to him and train and lift stuff. And you've known it's been years, or at least a lot of time has passed. I mean, everything's changed. They're now in a new location. When your characters don't have a time to learn to grow, you don't get invested, because listen to all those big stories like during the Olympics. I trained for so many years and now I'm finally here and I've got my victory. Those stories are great. Or you have the stories of people who are like nonstop training just in general, and they make it to the big dance. Maybe they don't win, but after years of whatever, they finally make it and they get the victory. Star Wars used to have that. That's why it's so not impressive, but that's why it works on an emotional level when the rebels beat the Empire in Return of the Jedi. I mean, we had been on a 6-year journey in terms of the films. They had been on a 4-year journey in terms of their timeline. They've faced loss and battle. People were frozen, lost hands, all this stuff. In the new ones, nobody really sacrifices much. Han Solo goes out like a punk. Luke goes out like a punk. Leia turns into a joke. Sire, this will be looked back on not positively. The narrative won't be able to be spun to, hey guys, people were angry about this movie, but they're truly great. I mean, wait for 5 years. You're going to get these fucking stupid articles about Star Wars saga. The Star Wars sequel saga was truly gold and much better than the originals and this, that, and the other. And you're going to get some stupid idiot who gets $12 for an article and will come out and be like, no, they weren't that good. This was the fan response. This is the current fan response. And Disney talks shit about us constantly. Let's see. A lot of stuff is better than Funko Pop. I am not a Funko fan. I do own a couple because, my mom gave them to me as a gift. And again, you don't throw a gift away from mom. How do you think Return of the Jedi would have reached The Last Jedi Luke? Oh, sorry. How do you think Return of the Jedi Luke would have reacted if The Last Jedi Luke, if they met? I don't think Return of the Jedi Luke would allow Last Jedi Luke to be so cynical. I think he would look at him and look at all the good you've done and this and that. And then Last Jedi Luke would be like, but I failed here. And be like, remember your father and this and that. Luke Skywalker was always an optimist, even in the face of adversity. I'll never join you and all this shit. The consummate hero, maybe the greatest film hero of the 1980s in terms of just purity and determination. Yeah, I think Indiana Jones is cooler, Rambo, McClane are cooler guys inherently, but Luke Skywalker's journey was much bigger than theirs, much better. I don't like what they did with him. Even McClane, who starts out a reluctant hero, and then when you get to Die Hard 4, he talks about, yeah, hero and all it's cracked up to be, kid, a lot of cold dinners, this, that, and the other. I like that. Being beaten down is different than being cynical, because when, the shit goes down, McClane was back in the fight. He was kicking ass, saying yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, killing helicopters with cars and stuff like that. Luke Skywalker, should have come out, not force projected himself. That is the dumbest movie. I can't keep talking about it because now my mental health is in question. I can't handle The Last Jedi anymore, guys. We'll talk about it in Star Wars Celebration. I fully expect Rey to get her arm lightsabered off and then grow that shit David Tennant style at the Force. I expected to cringe, and The Last Jedi still disappointed. I wouldn't be surprised if that was an original idea. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Darth Monkey Orath says, "Morning, Jeff. Thanks for the channel and all you do. Wall Street Video was the first one I seen. Been watching ever since. Plus, back catalog, watched episode 100 yesterday." Oh, well, thank you, Darth Monkey Orath. I hope you enjoyed it. Episode 100 was a little bit of a disappointment for me. I wanted it to be a little more than it was, but overall, like I said, I'm really proud of this channel. I'm not like a George Lucas where I go back and try to hide the show, want to do special edition changes. If one thing I could do to fix the old episodes would make match the audio quality from what we have now to what it used to, or now for the old episodes. That's the only change I'd like to have. Other than that, the content is a time capsule of where I was as a person, and where we were as a channel, and how we've grown. So thank you for checking out all the old stuff. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to have those discussions with people over on the Facebook page. Hey, man, I just listened to episode 34, and, Dyke Kuckerberg and all those episodes. Yeah, Dyke Kuckerberg used to be a person. He used to be a listener of the show. So it was nice that, that's how it was. So let's see what else we have. I do like the final saves of the show, the Ask Jeff Anything. So feel free to ask. Black Martini, you missed a really good, solid show this morning. So after this goes back into the archives, listen to it. You'll have fun. You'll hear some really valid, some poignant moments, put it like that. You can tell Hamill hated every minute of it too. Yeah, Hamill is the I think the nicest thing about Mark Hamill was that he understood what Luke Skywalker was, or who Luke Skywalker was, better than anyone. And he was truly the torchbearer for the character. And I don't know. He will be missed. Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill's still with us, thankfully. I'd love to meet the guy. I feel like if I talked to him in a non-public interview, he would be more open to tell me shit. But I'd love for him to like spill the beans here on this channel. Oh my God, it would really bring some credibility to this channel, to those who think we're full of shit, but for those who watch, they know what we're really about. Would you have accepted it if he did force project, but actually made an impact though, or through sheer display with command of the Force? No, I really wanted to see Luke in action. And then he dies from his force projection? That was just so lame. You take the greatest hero and you turn him into a loser. That's all I can say. You could compare Solo to Star Trek, Spider-Man, or Batman, or any other older franchise, and it would fall apart. Let's see. Well, if we're talking Spider-Man, you know how I feel about Spider-Man 1 and 2. Highly regarded. Batman films, I love them too. Solo just doesn't match anything in terms of those movies. Even old Star Trek movies. I would rather watch... Do I want to watch Voyager? No, I don't know if I want to watch the first Star Trek movie, the motion picture, over that. World Class Bullshitters Holiday Life Day Christmas Special with Dead B. Arthur singing. Yeah, here's a single release right now. Wasn't that awesome? I'm so glad we got B. Arthur back. Let's see, Jeff, what do you normally eat for breakfast? Green berets, and right now I'm very hungry. Bonus points for anyone who can tell me what movie that's from. It just depends. Normally, I break my fast around noon, so I'll eat. I try to eat less carbs and just generally healthier stuff. For a while, I was doing these bags of salad and saw good results, but then, stuff happens and you kind of fall off the wagon. Now I'm back to doing that kind of stuff. So, I don't like things like, I'll tell you what I hate to eat. I don't like candy. So as a kid, when I would dress up for Halloween, I would go out and trick or treat, and I'd give my mom a lot of the candy. It's also why I don't have any cavities. But I don't like candy. I really don't enjoy potato chips and stuff like that. It's funny though. They talk about people having a difficult time eating healthy in quotation marks. I don't. I just find it hard to do the food prep and cook it all. But I don't like certain things. I don't like Kraft macaroni and cheese. I know that's a weird thing. I can eat it. I don't think it tastes bad. I just don't. It's not a food that I'm going to go, man, I can really go for a box of Kraft Easy Mac or some shit like that. Not unless I'm in college again. Let's see. Rugis says, World Class Bullshitters episode 83 was one of the best of the Legacy podcasts. Kendo on Fire. What was episode 83? Let me look that up, because I'd like to know. If you type in World Class, the first thing the Bullshitters is Star Wars Toys, The Last Jedi, Force Awakens, Solo E, The Clone Wars, Rogue One, Star Wars is dead. Ooh, I like that. Where that's searchable. World Class Bullshitters 83. Was that what I think it was? Oh, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Major League, new character revealed, WCBS 83. Oh, okay. I guess that was Kendo's first episode. And I'm so glad he joined us. Let's see. Did anyone... Oh, people are getting it. People figured out the movie title. Let's see who the first person to get the quote was so I can give them a proper shout out. Let's see. All right, so Perth Comics wins with Commando. That was what the movie was I was referencing. So there we go. Perth Comics wins the shout-out of the day. Thank you very much, Perth Comics, for being a well-spoken individual in the world of pop culture. We appreciate you. When is the next High Council watch-along? Sam Raimi, Spider-Man 1 or 2? I don't think the High Council will do that, but I'll do that here on the channel. We'll watch Spider-Man. Let us get to November. You know what? Spider-Man takes place around Thanksgiving, so let us do that around Thanksgiving. It'll give us a reason to watch it. Give us a themed night. Raspberry berets are better than green berets. Well, when you find them in a secondhand store, I agree with you. Yeah, I like that song quite a bit. I don't have any take on the new Predator movie. I won't watch it. Make sure you guys watch Mauler's review for the definitive review. Saurian Sky, thank you very much. Darth Caedus equals superior proto Kylo. Is Darth Caedus the bald guy? Let me look that up real quick so I can know which one you're talking about. Darth Caedus, cool. No, Darth Caedus is not the bald one. Okay. He is the grandson of Darth Vader. Oh, okay. So he is essentially Kylo Ren, but it's Jason Solo. Okay, I know Jaina and Jason Solo, the twins. I maybe I didn't read all the books like a lot of people out there, but I did know all these characters because I remember when Hasbro would do EU toys and people would go nuts for them. So I'm like, okay, cool. But Jeff, Luke exerted so much energy when he force projected, it taxed him to the limit. I'm still not buying that bullshit. Oh my god, I'm going to show you guys something. This is going to be the ultimate way to close out the show. So you guys remember how I showed you, delicious In-N-Out burgers and all these wonderful things. I'm going to show you something truly horrific to close the show out. So when you think of Star Wars, you think of the movies, you think of the toys. When you think of the toys, you think of Luke, Darth Vader, all these fun characters. But have you ever seen the burn victim Anakin Skywalker figure with the missing arm and leg? just asking. Just asking. You thought the High Council's next movies were the Ewok movies. Yeah. I'm going to get Solo here on this channel for the High Council. We've done the full rotation, so it's now my turn. And I choose Solo for the watch party. For those who don't want to watch it, we can do the cringe fest together. Because The Last Jedi was fantastically cringy. Let's do it for Solo. Kraft mac and cheese is not real mac and cheese. Yes, you are right. So let's see. Spider-Man takes place in November. That probably explains the dinner scene. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Because remember, Aunt May says it's the boys' first Thanksgiving in this apartment, and we're going to do things the right way. And then it kind of jumps forward, or maybe it doesn't jump forward. No, because when they go to Norman Osborn's funeral, it's still fall, so it hasn't become Christmas yet. So hypothetically, it's like 3 days. It's the end of November when that movie ends. So it starts in April, May, maybe late February. I don't know. It's right before graduation. Let's say the movie starts in March and ends in November. Roken said, what would you say, Roken's about walking out? I've walked out of only 2 movies before, Ultraviolet and this new Predator. It shits on the fans as much as The Last Jedi did. Roken's, yeah, according to what Mahler said, I feel disrespected, so I won't check it out. Jeff, we don't buy regular BS, only world-class BS. Well, thank you, What the Sith is this? You are I'm going to say you're a man of good taste. I'm assuming you're a guy. I mean, what? That's a toy? What the? Yeah, this is a toy right here. Now, this is pod racing. Look at the eyes. This is a real action figure. This is a toasty. Oh, my God. Yeah, Crispy Anakin is an action figure. Is that Freddy's relative? Yeah, it's his brother, Eddie Kruger. A less derpy version of Jason Voorhees. Yeah, less derpy version is right. Something I noticed in Spider-Man 2, I didn't see Peter web shooters. Are they internal web shooters or are they hand built? They're internal. That's the biggest complaint that people want to levy against that movie. Oh, he doesn't have real web shooters. He has organic web shooters. Well, Sam Raimi's argument was, if he can stick the walls, why can't people buy him shooting webs? No, Sam Raimi says, why would a kid be able to create something that 3M would pay billions of dollars for and keep it for himself? That kind of would solve all the problems right there. Plus, it was part of the James Cameron script. We don't know exactly how much had to be kept in. Plus, I like it. I'm fine with it. It really is not a problem for me that he doesn't have he has organic web shooters. The suit looks better. It's more accurate. The movie overall is still more accurate than what we've gotten from later Spider-Man iterations. This looks like Deadpool. That does look like Deadpool. It looks like Jason coming out of the water at the end of Friday the 13th. Yeah, Ari Lehman. Does he come with limbs? I don't know. I didn't really Google Star Wars toys. I Googled Darth Cadus, and this popped up. Let's see who else we got. Spider-Man 2099 was the first Spidey with organic web shooters. All right, I haven't read that in a long time. I think it was Rick Leonardi was the artist. So I always talk about my neighborhood. There's a guy walking down the street in jean shorts without a shirt on, and he's got a bandana on his head, and he's like dancing and doing karate. I love this neighborhood. Just joking. I hate it. So, folks, I think this is a good time to close out the stream. It's been a really good morning. And if you're thinking, oh man, I just got here, I want more. Well, guess what? You're going to get more tonight, because tonight we're going to be talking about movie curses. So get your Halloween caps on and get ready to start celebrating the holiday, because it is the first time where everyone can start getting in the spirit. So if you guys have Shudder, this is a plug, a personal plug, but if you guys have $4 a month and you like horror movies and you just want to have fun for the month, spend $4 and go get yourself a Shudder subscription. I'm not being sponsored. I've never been told to say this, but I do have access to Shudder, and I think it's a pretty fun service, and I really do like watching horror movies throughout Halloween. I like to watch them all year long, but October is a very special time for me. So if you guys want to get access to a lot of these, make sure you get the Shudder streaming service. It's like $4. You won't regret spending $4 on something really fun. It's got really good stuff too. It's got Joe Bob Briggs Marathon on there. It's got the original Halloween as well as number 4 and 5. It's got tons and tons of content. It's not some shitty Rudy Poo candy ass streaming service. It's actually better than the DC streaming service, which I actually own or have. So if you guys want to watch some horror, Shudder is the way to go. Netflix has some good stuff, but Shudder is for horror fans, by horror fans, and I like it a lot. So we're going to be talking about the Poltergeist curse tonight. That is mine. I got to do some research and present that tonight. Kendo has the Pet Cemetery 1. So we're going to be talking about those movies, and I hope that you guys chime in with your takes, your thoughts, your opinions, your movie curses, or your spooky curses. By the way, I would love for anyone who listens to send in, scary things that have happened to them during our Halloween live streams. That'll be a lot of fun to hear your tales of terror, your run-ins, your brushes with death, things like that. In the macabre. I'm not talking like I was in a car wreck and I barely survived. That I'm so glad you're alive. I'm not going to ever make light of the situation, but I thought I saw a ghost or this or that. Just fun, spooky things to truly celebrate the season, because it's my favorite time of year, and I want to make sure that now that we have such a big audience that we can all celebrate it as a community together. We're gonna do Evil Dead stuff. I don't know if the Evil Dead's on Shudder right now, but I own them all on Blu-ray. I'm an Evil Dead fan, a big fan of the Deadites, so I own it, and we'll do some stuff for the channel very soon. I can't wait for the Halloween film as well. I'm going to be seeing that opening weekend with the guys here on the channel. We'll be in town for my birthday party, and we're going to do a live stream right after we watch it. Shit, I wish we could do a live stream while we watch it. Like, oh my God, this is great. But we have to wait because it is illegal to live stream in a movie theater, and I don't want to go to jail or get sued. So, Coast to Coast AM stories. Rhaegar knows what's up. I used to listen to Coast in grade school and high school. My mom would let me stay up till midnight. She'd be like, if you're going to listen to Coast, got to make sure you have your homework done and you'll be able to get up in the morning. And I'd only make it to like the first 20 minutes of Coast to Coast. But that was a show I used to love. And I listened to a lot of podcasts from former hosts of Coast to Coast. Richard Serrett, the Rock and Roll Twilight Zone. It's a lot of fun for me. So I'm really, truly celebrating the holiday. I have the spirit. Rich from Review Tech USA has some bathroom horror stories. I'm pretty sure he's created some horrible bathroom stories for other people as well. All right, folks. So I will see you guys in just a few short hours. Have a good day. Thank you for everything. Thank you to everyone. And check out the old stuff. Check out the new stuff. And remember, Anakin has one arm and he's watching you.